Good evening. How are you all keeping? And yeah, it's Thursday, and I've not had a bad day. But looking at the scoreline here from the Chelsea game, if you're a Spurs fan, it's not good news at all because you're now 2-0 down. So welcome to Spotlight anyway. As you know, this is something I'm trying to build up as we go along, inviting various people on there, be it obviously content creators and even fans. I'll be doing that as well. So in this instance, I've known him for a short period of time, but we've gotten very well with each other, and he's a good guy as well. And as you may know him as this man. Good evening, Uncle. How are we keeping?
I am very well. Pleasure to be on the show, mate. Pleasure to be on the show.
No, I'm looking forward to this one kind of thing. To get to know the real Uncle Rodz. This will be very interesting. This will be very.
It's gonna be a short show, mate.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thanks for coming on, Uncle. See you later on. See you next time. Take care now. Let's just see some people in the chat that's come in already. So, got Statman Stubbs saying, "Yes, guys, have a great show." Thanks very much, Statman Stubbs. Thank you very much, mate. And Pepsi go everywhere they go. Scarecrows in defence. Yeah, just seeing that second goal there, Pepsi. That's for sure.
Scarecrows.
Good evening, Bargav. How are we keeping? Hope things are well where you are. What's good? Well, we'll find out soon with this guy next to me. So, yes. Let me ask you the first question about yourself, and that is literally, tell me about yourself.
Just take all 60 seconds, I'm No, grew up in St Albans. And I found a love for football like in the 70s when I was about, kid. You know what I mean? And a lot of people be saying in the comments that you was a teenager. No, I wasn't. No, when I was a kid, and they sort of like, remember watching the World Cups, you know what I mean? Jinkin Johnson and all those guys there, you know what I mean, in the late 70s and that. So I had a kind of like love for football. Then my little bro, Ed and Dave, which is like, he's sort of 5.5 years younger than me. He is like Liverpool. He used to like Liverpool and that. Well, still does, do you know what I mean? So he kind of got me in it from then, do you know what I mean? I remember watching sort of Liverpool in the late 70s and, then watching them in the 80s and stuff, do you know what I mean? But the first actual games I used to go to was Watford. It was Watford, believe it or not. Because obviously, sort of almost to Liverpool and they was quite far, very far, do you know what I mean? So you wasn't really able to sort of like get to matches far. But I think what it was a lot of times as well, it was a different era at them times there. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously you had football hooliganism and all the kind of stuffs that come with it. And I think because of Liverpool and Dave, obviously in them times and still now was like one of the main teams. It was synonymous with football hooliganism. You know what I mean? As with obviously West Ham's had their problems with hooliganism, Chelsea, and so on. So the local club that I can go to watch football was Watford. Do you know what I mean? So I was about 12, 13. You jump on sort of like the Abbey Flyover. That's what they call it, the Abbey Flyover.
Yeah.
Get that from St Albans and it goes straight through to Watford Junction and you walk up to the ground. Now, those were the days of Luther Blissett, John Barnes, Nigel Callahan, and co. Do you know what I mean? And I really got to see what John Barnes got to do what kind of phenomenal player that he was. So when he sort of like later on got transferred
Hello,
to
Joan.
Adrian John, big up. Um, when he sort of like got transferred to sort of like Liverpool back in 86, 87, do you know what I mean? I already knew they had sort of like a player. They was buying a player, do you know what I mean? And he was going to do well for sort of like for Liverpool, do you know what I mean? So that's been sort of like kind of like my main kind of like watching football live and they happened. Do you know what I mean? At Watford Football Ground, Vicarage Road. Do you know what I mean? I was there when they beat Sunderland 8-0. So my first 8-0 when I was about 13 years old. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't believe it because the goals were just going in, going in, going in. So yeah, it was good times. So you know, um, as time went on, like the next couple of years, I got into boxing. I used to
Oh, okay.
do boxing and that. I wasn't sort of like anything spectacular. I mean, just had my spat and I had about 12 fights. I think. 12 fights and I won seven of them. You know what I mean?
Not a bad ratio.
Huh?
Not a bad ratio.
Well, it's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad because what it was my first fight. Yeah, my first fight. You know, first 5 fights. Yeah, my first 5 fights I won. Yeah, I won. Yeah, my first 5 fights I won, and then you know it was up and down from there, more down and up. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it wasn't so bad. Do you know what I mean? So like, yeah,
That's
boxing
good.
was a, boxing was a good thing. Do you know what I mean?
Good evening, Arsenal. Hope you're keeping well.
Easy answer, maniac. Big up.
So, what kind of from that point on with the boxing did you kind of, or was it the kind of not winning the rest of them matches? Did they kind of lose your love for the sport, or did you
You
move
know,
away from that?
what it was I had a brother that was sort of like was the better boxer out of me and him. Do you know what I mean? That's my older brother. Would
Mm.
like to be in a boxer like him because he was just like he was good. He could have been sort of like out of the sort of like the both of us. He could have been something special. I'm not just saying that because my brother. He could be something special.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, one time we went to where was he? I think it was in Aylesbury. There's a show over there, in Aylesbury, and we never fought in the same bill together. You know what I mean?
Okay, okay.
You know what I mean? If for instance, one day it's like if I got a fight, he won't be fighting, and if, vice versa, and it was vice versa. So, when I wasn't matched or anything like that, so I just went down there. I think he was matched. I think he was matched, and so I went down there and I think that weighed in and all that sort of stuff. And what you do, you go down and you weigh in, and if you like if there's someone there to fight you, you know what I mean, right, at the same weight and obviously
Mm.
at the same kind of experience,
Evening, Richard.
yeah, you can get matched up with them on the night. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
So went down
Right.
there like a spare wheel. Sorry, do you want to read that comment?
No, yes, it's good afternoon from Lawrence from Lexington, Kentucky. He just says he can't stay on, but wanted to say jumping for like in sport. Thanks very much, Lawrence. Hope it's all well out where you are, and thanks for coming in, mate. Much appreciate that.
Yep, cool. Um, so basically, in the day, so he got the match. He was matched, so he was fighting, and he fought some guy for not around Northampton way. I never forget the area. I never forget the area because of the size of the guy. You know what I mean?
Just-
No, fucking there. Geezer was a unit, man. Do you know what I mean? My bro was like, he was kind of skinny, but he had muscle. Do you know what I mean? He's like
mm,
a skinny, muscly dude. Do you know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah, 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 yeah.
And he had a good dig in him. So what happened in days? What happened is like, he got this fight in that, and the geezers come out, and he's sort of like, and he's just like steamed my brother, steamed him. And then what it was, something just clicked in my brother's head. He just come out the corner fighting. And he's just like, he just done the geezer in the end. He won on points, you know what I mean? And he like done in the end. So, but I had another fight. I had a fourth fight, and I won that fourth fight. Then I had a fifth fight, and did I lose my fifth fight? No, that's it. It was my sixth fight I lost. Cause I remember I won 5 in a row. I did. My sixth fight I had, it was in Dunstable in the day, and that sixth fight in the day that out of the fights I had, that was the best fight I had. Yeah, and I lost. Imagine that.
Okay.
Best fight I had in the day.
And you lost. Yeah.
I lost because we was
just
like, because I think what it was in the first round, admittedly, he got the better of me in the first round. I was just like literally trying to survive the first round. Bulky dude he was. I remember he's from Southeast London, a really bulky dude. And we was only about 15 at that time.
Very bulky then.
Yeah, he was like a muscly dude. That's what fuck's sake. Right? So what it was, I remember the first round at the day, I was just trying to like survive the first round. Do you know what I mean? Second round, I was kind of like stepped it up and everything that. And that's for the third round of the day. Oh, Villa 2-2.
Well, let's come there. Let's come back into that game.
Like that.
Evening, Hollywood Rock. Hope you're keeping well.
Yeah, I want Villa to win the tournament.
Well, when you look at something like this, I mean, yeah, because there was 2-0 down. I mean, the second goal was a great goal by I've got their bloody name there. Olympiacos, wasn't it? Yeah, great goal by them. That's for sure.
Yeah, so the sixth fight. So like basically in day, the second round and the second round, it's a bit more my favour, but even. But the third round, I kind of took the third round. You know what I mean? Literally just took the third round, and I remember like when they sort of like gave a decision, and they said it was like a majority decision, and they said that the guy won a majority decision. I wasn't really too bothered. I wasn't like upset or anything because even my do you know what I mean? And even the guy goes to me, you got a good punch. He goes, you got a good dick. Because I had no mark on me. Yeah, I'm not like trying to boast or anything like that. Yeah, I had no mark on me, no mark at all. Yeah, but his eyes were out there. His eyes were out there. Do you know what I mean? Because I kept on penetrating one spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That spot, I was just banging him, and I was like, I was hitting him with combinations, but he just wouldn't go down. He just wouldn't go down. I remember one bit that always sticks in my memory. And listen, this is like 40 years ago. One bit sticks in my memory is when he came in for attack, and I hit him with 2 left hooks on quick succession, quick two left hooks, and I feel like, and I thought, you ain't gone down yet. You know what I mean? That was the best fight I ever had, and it was like I got a standing ovation for that. Ovation in that, and I just think after that, and I think that I just didn't really lost conversation. And then my 12th fight at the day I had was down here in Luton, and I remember at the day sort of like it's from a guy, black fella from Yorkshire, and like again at the day the first round or second round he done it. I think the first round that day I was just like, you know, getting my bearings and I think that. Second round come out, I was getting the better of him. And I remember I had him against rope, and I hit him with a 1-2, but the right hand missed him, and he kind of like hit me the uppercut to my solar plexus, and then just winded. And I just went down. It's the first time I've ever, you know, what I mean, got wind in the guy. I just went down when I think that, and they counted me out, so it counts as a knockout. Do you know what I mean? You know, so it's not as if I was spark time. It's a kind of like I think I heard.
Big up, E. Ross. Roz, I think I heard the boss calling. Big up, gentlemen. Big up to yourself as well, E. Ross.
And I think after that fight there, after that fight, I just lost interest. Really, I think I lost interest, and then I never fought again. Really, just lost interest.
Olympiacos 3-2 now.
Ah, shit.
Scheiße. So the next question I want to ask you is basically, I think you're kind of alluding on it, so kind of explain a bit more on that. But what influenced you to support Liverpool?
Yeah, so literally at the day, so I used to watch. As I said, I used to watch Liverpool back in the day. You know what I mean? Back in the late 70s and obviously in the 80s and that. Whenever I could watch them on TV and stuff, because obviously back in them times there, do you know what I mean? It's like the only times you really could watch sort of like games at the day is if it's like FA Cup or FA Cup final or Milk Cup final. That's what you scored.
Yeah.
You remember Milk Cup and Rumbelows Cup and all that. You know what I mean? And and European nights as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those are the only times you really could watch football, because it wasn't like now where every game is and nearly every game is televised, even though it's not shown on main TV, sort of like on TMZ, TMT, and Sky and that. Still got people down on the ground, obviously televising it for the highlights later. Do you know what I mean? And stuff. So it wasn't like that. So you just literally caught games whenever you caught games. And I like on match of the day, and I think that match of the day you'll catch some games in that if your mum let you stay up that late.
Yeah, one of those.
You know those ones. So so I used to watch them and that. I used to watch them. And I did like them, but I think my little brother gave me the passion to sort of like them still, because he's been supporting Liverpool from way back when. I think whenever he could, whenever he learned to talk, when he learned to talk, he was a Liverpool supporter. That was him. Well. I mean, he was just like, that was him. He just like fully clapped eyes on Liverpool. He just said, "Yeah, that's my team." You know what I mean? So he's one that really gave me most of my drive. I mean, in supporting, in supporting them. Do you know what I mean? And it's been literally in a day, sort of like, as I say, sort of like the rest is history when you think about it.
Yeah. Well, that leads me to the next question. Basically, is how long have you supported them?
Oh shit! Just over 40 years. Just over 40 years. Because when I was going to sort of like Watford, as I said, like going to Watford back in 81, 82, and 83. You know what I mean? It was kind of like, that was the nearest place I could go to watch football.
Yeah.
So, but I liked Liverpool from back then. You know what I mean? I was basically a supporter back then. Do you know what I mean? If I was near to Liverpool, I would have gone to Liverpool to watch football. Do you know what I mean? So you're looking just over 40 years, 41 years.
Yeah. So did you find going like watching Watford and watching Liverpool, like the difference in the style and the quality? It was at that times, because Watford were a little bit more up in the end, weren't they, at that point? Did you find a bigger difference between the two clubs?
There was a bigger difference, because I think what it was with Liverpool, there was more flowing. There's more flowing football. Do you know what I mean? And like, because you've heard of like the old sort of saying when it comes to Liverpool, Liverpool groove, pass a move. You know what I mean? That's what it was. Pass a move, Liverpool groove. And so like, I often say at the end of the day, when you kind of like look at sort of like Arsenal, the way Arsenal play football, and the way a lot of teams do play football in the last 15 years, you know what I mean, right? When you look back at Liverpool, the way they used to play football in the 70s and in the 80s, you know what I mean? It's the same. You know what I mean? It is the same. Bang, 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 header. Bang, 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 tapping. Do you know what I mean? That's what they used to do. Just pass and move. Everybody at the day was always in space at the day to receive the ball.
Mm.
You know what I mean? That's why it's like that's why certain times they didn't really have to they didn't really have to defend as much. Do you know what I mean? Because once that ball comes out and everything that right, it was like from defense, midfield to attack, defense, midfield, winger, then attack. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember when they beat Spurs. They beat Spurs at Anfield in 1978, and they beat them 7-0. Even if you look at the last goal it did in the first, it was literally from the back, pass, then it went out to the wing, yeah, and he's crossed it in, bang, back of the net, 7-0. Do you know what I mean? So the styles was very different.
Mm.
I mean, because what it was, Liverpool was doing stuff at the day that we had to wait for in the 2000s. You know what I mean? Turn of the centuries to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? And I always said it in the day. So like when I looked at Liverpool, they was a victim of their own success. Do you know what I mean? Because if you look at what they're doing, and they was way ahead of their time. Do you know?
That's
Way
true.
ahead of their time. Do you know what I mean? So and even if you look at like West Ham, even if you look at West Ham back in the day and everything like, I look at what West Ham was doing back in the day. You could arguably say it in the day West Ham was way ahead of their time. The way they used to pass, the way they used to move, I mean, the goals they scored and stuff, the players they had.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, the contrast at the day was different. It was different, and you literally got more excited when you saw Liverpool play. Do you know what I mean? Because you thought, so yeah, they're gonna win. You know what I mean?
That's true, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah,
straight away kind of thing.
yeah,
Because I remember back in the day when when John Barnes got injured,
yeah,
and you're hearing stories that this man's sitting on the bench and that, and he's earning £10,000 a week, and then everyone's like, "What? This man's £10,000 a week."
yeah,
Wow, you know what I mean? It's one of those. But now you look at it, it's like that's pocket change.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's a big thing in that. So, next question for you, basically, is what would you class as your best highlight from Liverpool?
Oh, that's a hard one. That's a hard one. It's been a lot through the years. You know what I mean? But I'll go on modern era. I'll go on modern era, and it has to be. I've got two. I've got two. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. That's good. I mean, just Hollywood saying Spurs lost again. They're in free fall.
Yeah. Well, Hollywood, they're going to turn them against us on Sunday. Trust me.
Yeah.
So, all right, fuck it. It has to be sort of like the Champions League final under Rafa Benitez. When we won that, because I think what it was at the day, when we got into that tournament, we started playing tournament. Nobody gave us a hope in hell, did they?
No.
You know, we if you think about it, we was literally supposed to go out in the group stages, and to get that far, beat Olympiacos in the day at Anfield with Gerrard's famous kick and Andy Gray's famous reaction. Do you know what I mean? You know, liked Andy Gray. I did like him. And then you got to the final of it, and then you come up against Maldini, Kaká, Pirlo. Do you know what I mean? Nesta.
Usual suspects say Spurs lost again 2-0, laughing.
I love it. Crespo, Shevchenko. Do you know what I mean? If you look at that team, at the day, right, and then you look at our team, you're thinking at the day that Liverpool had no right to win that. Do you know what I mean? You know? But like what it was at the day, it's amazing what you can do with your tactics and just changing one thing. Do you know what I mean? You know. So that was a night and a day that went to watch it in a pub in Mill Hill. And of course we got back to 3-0 by half time, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I thought, me and my brother and my pal said, "Fuck it, we're off." We're off. He lived not too far away. You know what I mean? He lived on the edge of sort of like Bournemouth.
Evening, Sharky.
Yeah, big up Sharky.
I hope you're keeping well.
Edge of Bournemouth, you know what I mean? So he just had to literally drove up the Jew carriageway and that, and he was at the pub anyway. So I just dropped him home, yeah. And then my brother, me and my brother went home and for that. So we went for the back route, took the back route and that. Do you know what I mean? From where we was and for that, which was very easy. And I got about 5 minutes away from brother's house in the day, right? And it started because I just had this little radio, you know what I mean? So
the old transistor little thing.
I just had one of them, mate. I just had one of them because I didn't actually sort of like get my car stereo fitted at that time. So I'm a little sort of like radio and that, and so we just turned it on, just say like, you know, just see what's going on, listen on radio, because we thought to stuff like listen to the radio and obviously watching the TV, right? If we get battered again, it's less embarrassing listening to the radio. Do you know what I mean?
You can't see it.
You know, yeah. Do you know what I mean? So this
big up Dale Ogan Goon. Hope you're keeping well.
yeah, big up.
Good to see you in there, matey. Thanks for coming in.
Good to see you.
So yeah, go on. So I just remembering the old transistor because I remember seeing it in the stands. You know, most football grounds you was
remember that.
And, you know, half time and everyone's kind of
this is what's going on. You know what I mean? Results.
Looking at yeah. All that's going on.
Man. You just got your phones now, ain't you? You got your phones now. Check the score.
There's a question there for you, Rodz.
Yeah.
Why are your bottle drops?
Not as bad as Arsenal, though, was it really? Do you know what I mean? 239 days at the top and he still lost it. Well, it is today, sort of like. So we listened to radio and then Gerrard scored. You know what I mean? And we thought, good. Takes a bit of shame off our back, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm getting sort of like near his house now. Then Smeets scored. I thought, you know, hang about. Because this is early still, you know what I mean? Early in the second half. Put my foot down, didn't I? And then obviously and then they saw like Alonso got the penalty and for that. So he parked up the car and for that, right? Didn't even bother locking it, running to his house to the vet just to see the penalty. Do you know what I mean? So the whole atmosphere that night was was very good. So that one there, and then obviously the Barcelona one. The Barcelona comeback. That was
exactly.
You know what
I mean, look at that. Leverkusen 2-0 up. They're going to win that. They're going to win that.
They're going to win that. They ain't lost the game yet.
No. Oregon go Deji saying there, where is Deji hiding? Deji said Spurs will slap up Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool, and Villa. Lose the remaining games or something on those lines. He said they'll finish fourth.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
fourth from bottom.
Oh, look, Villa losing 4-2 now. 100% Dow. 100% delusional, Desi.
I don't think Villa could turn that round. You know.
No, I'm not looking at that. And usually, when you look at it for Emery and that, this is his thing, isn't it?
Yeah, this is his trophy and that. You know what I mean? Mind you, at the day, right? The rate he's going, he's probably in the Champions League next season.
More than likely, mate. More than likely. So you said that's your of your best highlight. What's the second one you were saying? Because you said you had two.
I think it was winning the Champions League on the clock. Winning the Champions League on the clock. Second one, because like it was just the whole day that we went to Liverpool to watch it like one of those big auditorium business, you know what I mean, arenas and that. And it was just the whole day was like, if you was a Red, you know what I mean, yeah, no matter where you come from, what part of the world you come from, and which part of England you come from, if you was a Red, you was family. It's just so much unity at the end of the day to that day, do you know what I mean? And then we got in the ground and everything that we got in the ground. We got in the auditorium finally, do you know what I mean? Yeah. and there was still about 4,000 or 5,000 people that didn't get into this auditorium. You know what I mean? And the auditorium was packed. It was about 6,000 people capacity. It was packed. And you know, I remember at the day I went with my brother, and Mo Salah got the penalty, didn't he? He got the penalty.
Yeah.
My brother couldn't watch. He couldn't watch. He had his head on my shoulder like that. He turned around. He had his head on my shoulder because I can't watch. I can't watch it. So he was just waiting for the response. And then, you know, sometimes when I talk about this thing, I get choked up when I talk about it because it was such a good day. And so I remember when he scored and everything that, and then everybody went mad. Do you know what I mean? Went mad and everything that. And so we're watching the game and everything that, and it's like, you know, Spurs had their chances and stuff. Do you know what I mean? And I remember my brother saying that day, right, that we need a goal. The day, right? And then Origi comes on, didn't he? Origi came on.
Yeah,
he comes on and he's playing and that. And I think Mane missed. No, it was Milner missed a sitter. Yeah, Milner missed a sitter. Yeah, and then this lady in the day that she was with her boyfriend. You know what I mean? Yeah, he goes to me, "Oh, we really need a goal. 2 minutes later, 2 or 3 minutes later, Rigi gets the goal and seals it. You want to see the joy on people's faces. Everybody was hugging everybody.
Yeah.
The lady that just said to me at the end of the day, right? Yeah, said to me about sort of like, you know, we need a goal in that, right? She literally nearly snogged me, you know what I mean? I was like, you know what I mean? Your fellas over there. He was like, you know, literally, he did not care. Everybody was so happy. He did not care. He did not care anything like that. And it was like, I was like videotaping it on my phone and that, right? You know, obviously jubilation and that, right? And that guy he kissed my phone, you know, kissed the camera. I did. It was amazing. And then obviously, you know what I mean, when we won it, and to see them sort of like carving out Liverpool's name on the cup, special.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I mean, let's just go to this question here. Arsenal Manic saying, why have the English clubs been so crap this year in Europe?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think they've been crap. I just think they've just been beaten by the better team.
Yeah. I mean, we you look at our one, we kind of fluffed it in the second, in the first leg. Really, I think the tactics were wrong. The second leg in the first half, we should have put it to bed. We could have actually beaten Leverkusen if we put our chances away. But as he's alluded here, it's been humiliating for English clubs in Europe, and we call the Premier League the best league, which is true.
I always sort of like don't buy into the fact that the Premier League is the best league in the world. I don't. It's the most physical. Do you know what I mean? But like from what I've seen this season and from what I've seen season before, I don't think it's bad league because like you look at this, right? We had that thing against Tottenham and everything that Tottenham, and like Jurgen Klopp mentions it sort of like the possibility of having a replay. You know what I mean? Yeah. And everybody went up in arms, didn't they? They went up in arms over it. You know what I mean? Do you realise in Belgium, I think it was Bruges and one of them teams there, right? A similar thing happened where they had a bad decision on day, right? And
be assembled.
Yeah. Consequently, sort of ended up the other team winning it. And they look back on it and then once they thought, well, there was a mistake that's being made. You know what I mean? Do you know they replay that game?
That's right. Yeah.
Replay. So why can't we do it then? If we're the best league in the world, why couldn't we do that?
Do
you know what I mean?
Well, there's a couple of comments there. Let me just go to Hollywood Rocks one first. He says here, Xabi Alonso should be the next Liverpool manager, but you've got Arnold Schwarzenegger instead. So actually we'll come back onto that. So I'm just going to highlight that one. I'll kind of come back to that one there. So yeah, big up to the assembled. Get better everywhere they go. Saturday, Spurs play you so that's going to be an interesting
Is
game.
it Saturday or Sunday?
I think it's Saturday, I do believe. I think it's a
No,
Saturday.
it's Sunday, March the
Saturday.
5th.
Ah.
So May the 5th. May the 5th. Sunday.
Marianne Safford saying Uncle Rod's big up, Hollywood big up as well. And evening, James Lamprey. European football is more technical, Premier League more physical. That's a good point.
Yeah. I think he has got a good point.
Sunday. Yeah, that's true. And Hollywood Rocks followed up with that, confirming that side of things as well with James. The Premier is the most exciting, but best, nah.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got, obviously, we pay the most, I suppose, the biggest wages out of all. So when you look at something like that, so let me just go back to Hollywood's question there, which was, if it come up yet? Yeah. So end of an era with Klopp.
Yeah.
In with Schwarzenegger.
I laugh actually when I see his name, I just laugh. You know what I mean? You feel like get to the chopper.
Yeah. So what do you think about this? I mean, it's a bit of a weird appointment, this one.
Yeah, it's a weird point, but I did a show yesterday, I do believe. And if people go back in it, there's a link on there that you can watch the full video. So basically, did a reaction. This American dude, and they broke it down, and I couldn't disagree with anything that he says. He did say. Remember what I said to you, sort of like early backstage. I said to you about how the English game is getting more Americanized. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I'll explain what I mean by that. What it is at the end of the day with Liverpool now, right? Alonso at the end of the day, right? Alonso and Amarin, yeah. There was never really in the running as such, yeah. Because let's take Alonso at the day, sort of like literally decided in the day he was going to stay. Do you know what I mean? I think they knew that. I think they knew at the day that Alonso was going to say, but I think they prolonged it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah? Right. Amarin at the day, right? One of the main reasons why Amarin did not become Liverpool manager is because of the money. Yeah? It was because of the money. Because, obviously he wanted more than obviously what Amarin's asking. Do you know what I mean? I think he would have come up to about 20 mil. Yeah? But like make no mistake, Liverpool have got the money to pay him twice, 3, 4, 5 times over. They have got the money to do that. You know what I mean? It's not a mistake, yeah? But what it is at the end of the day is this, right? Is when Jurgen Klopp was there and it's like, obviously he's created a culture at the end of the day from sort of like from the first team go right down. Do you know what I mean? They all pay the same style, right? Now there's this thing called Moneyball, which FSG deal with, yeah? And there's a film about that. Yeah, Moneyball. Buying cheap but selling at a high profit. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Basically, what it is at the day with Amron, if Amron come in at the day, Amron doesn't play with a full. Right, it's fucking like
big up first.
Hot Fuzz, he's our G, isn't he? He's our G.
Yeah.
No, he's a great guy. Guys, at the day, please go and like and subscribe to Hot Fuzz's channel, please. Please go and like and subscribe to his channel. He's a great guy. He's a friend of mine. A friend of ours, actually. He's a friend of ours at the day. He's a really great guy. Please support this guy here. Anyway, so basically in the day, sort of like what happened in the day, when Amron comes in, Amron plays with 3 at the back, doesn't he? Plays with 3 at the back. And he plays with 2 10s. Yeah? So the system will have to change. Yeah? Right? Now, when you change the system, obviously you spend money, don't you? You spend money. Do you know what I mean? Including the players at the day that you obviously need for that system. FSG do not like to spend money. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Amron's coming in at the day, right? And if you notice that Amron at the day will play the same style as Klopp. Do you know what I mean? He plays the same. So really and truly, and they sort of like you want to really get in players, yeah. Right, that's number one, right? The way that sort of like Liverpool's been changed in the day with Michael Edwards come back in. Remember at the day, Michael Edwards was going to be calling the shots. He's going to be calling the shots. He brought his 2 pals in, yeah, right? Richard Hughes and the other guy in the day, right? They literally they literally haven't got no experience. They've really got no experience. You know what I mean, right? Put these 2 guys in now. What's going to happen in the day is like Arnie's coming in as a head coach. Yeah. Arnie's not going to be sitting. Arnie, I made no mistake. Arnie's not going to be signing anybody. It's like basically in the day, sort of like it's Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes that are going to be sort of like signing somebody. You know, signing the people. So basically in the day, how the Americans do it, and then they've got a general manager, yeah, and he makes all the decisions like in signing and stuff. And then what he does at the day, he gives the players to the head coach and so right, deal with that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Right. Now, if you got a yes sir man like Arnie, and then it will work. But with Amron weren't going for that. Amron wanted sort of like more kind of like control. Quite rightly so, because what happens is this: what people don't realize it now, when it goes Pete Tong and everything that, yeah, who are you looking to?
Of course. Yeah.
You're gonna be looking at Amron, innit? If Amron's in, there you go. And Amron said, like, right then, you know, I will converse to what you're saying. I'll even sort of like lower my asking price, yeah, right. And so that he came in, right, and he got given the players at the day that Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes and them lot sort of like got for him, yeah, right. And it doesn't work out. Who's getting the blame? It's not Michael Hughes.
No, of course, it's always there. Just going to some of the messages. Obviously, Tony, you're at the bridge next. Oh, that's going to be a tough one. It is, mate. Seeing the result there, but hopefully we'll put up more of a game than what the Spuds did. Put it that way. So hopefully, I mean, I'm going for a 2-1 for us on that game. Ravi, what's good? Yeah, all good, mate. Good to see you in there. And Fuzzy's saying big thank you to Tony for being on the watch along earlier too. Appreciate you. Most welcome, mate. It was good to be on there. Have a good old chat. And Ravi's asking, can someone tell him if Robin Van Persie will be Liverpool's number 2 with Arnie Slot?
Probably will be, yeah. If he's number 2 now, I don't see why not.
Mm.
Don't see why, because apparently he's number 2 now, isn't he? He's his number 2 now.
So he'll probably bring him. He's back from staff, isn't it? So
yeah.
The Assemble said the Premiership can't be the best league. We are failing to develop British talent, i.e., teams, England, etc., on the international tournament stage. In my opinion, these tournaments represent your league. This is true. This is where we should be advertising ourselves, and it is where we do fail ourselves in this, because when you look at other countries, they train more than us as international level. You know, they understand each other better at international level. You know. And we know full well with Southgate, it's the same old shit he keeps picking.
Yeah,
there's not a difference.
He's got his favourites in it.
I mean, he's saying, Revy's asking, is that a definite? Well, going back, if he's number 2 already, normally you find if the manager's going to move on, he'll take his back room with him.
Yeah, and Liverpool's already paid for it. Because remember what it was? It was 9 million.
Villa's missed a penny as well.
Shit. It was 9 million at the day for this guy. Paid 9 million for Arnie, yeah, and 2 million at the day was for his backroom staff. You know what I mean? And then and then another couple of million at the day, sort of like in add-ons for whatever. You know what I mean? You know.
Question for you, there, Uncle.
Question to Uncle Rodz: who you got in Europa League tonight? Your missus.
Good evening, Drew. Hope you're keeping well. Good evening, all. And Marianne says,
he's mugging me off here. Hey, didn't Arsenal get knocked out in the quarterfinal?
You've only just realised. Sharky's asking you, Rodz, what are your thoughts on Liverpool's team? Do you think they need improving this summer?
Yes, I think defensively, they can do improve on that, and probably in attack. You know what I mean? I think it's time for Nunes to go. I've given him 2 seasons. No, I mean, I said it today. If he doesn't improve as such at today, in his second season, then it's time to go. I'm not going to have these people hang around. So we could probably prove an attack as such. Do you know what I mean? Because I think in the day, we haven't got enough killers up front. That's Nunes and Diaz. You know what I mean? You need the killer instinct. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, there can be some improvements in there. I think in defense and attack.
Yeah. I mean, funny if you when you were saying about Amarin, obviously he came and had a chat with Sullivan and so forth, and since then you've seen that basically Amarin's now said that it was a mistake to come to West Ham and talk to the chairman, and he's gone with his tail between his legs and apologised to the fans, and it was a big mistake, and he shouldn't be doing that. But no mention of you guys in that one.
Yeah, we kept that quiet because
of course,
you probably did actually. I reckon he did actually think everybody thought and they right. Everybody is on the impression and they all the Liverpool fans was on the impression. Don't care what any Liverpool fans try to tell you. Do you know what I mean? Don't let them mug you off, mate.
No, of course. Cool, we know that. We know that.
For 100%, and Amron was going to be our next guy. There was even people doing shows at the day on like what Amron can bring us and that, you know what I mean, in his style and so forth. Do you know what I mean? So
exactly.
They just basically what they've done at the day, right? Is Liverpool have gone for the cheaper, something cheaper. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And they've gone for yes man because what they want to do, they want to get this like Liverpool, the American way. They want to get Liverpool the American way, the structure and everything. They want to get it the American way. Do you know what I mean? And because you can't cut across you again. What it is today, my problem is, I'll tell you, my problem is the fact that today it's a massive jump for Arnie to Liverpool. From Feyenoord to Liverpool is a massive jump. Do you know what I mean? Now, I don't blame him for taking the job because at the day, right? Because if we was going to get paid sort of like so much of thousands a week and for that, we would take the job.
Of course.
It's a massive jump from Feyenoord to Liverpool. And I don't think it's going to work out. Do you know what I mean? Put it this way, it's more of a blessing to him as a blessing to us. Because at the end of the day, this could be a good stepping stone for him.
Yeah.
Win or lose, it could be a good stepping stone for him. Because at the end of the day, if he loses, if he flops at Liverpool, and people know that at the end of the day he's been with Liverpool and he's going to get snatched up. If he wins at Liverpool and does well, he's still going to get snatched up. So
yeah, there's that. That's it. I mean, Ravi's asking here, why are people who have never played the game taking charge of transfers? Academic. The academies basically.
Yeah, it's pants because you see what it is. Richard Hu is at the day, which is our new sort of like sports director, and that I don't remember the other guy's name. Right, that's the head scout, and right. They play football, but not on a sort of like a big level. You know what I mean? It's not really a big level. You understand what I'm saying?
He does indeed.
Yeah. And like even with sort of like the jobs that they did respectively, right? It's not the fact that there was that big clubs. You know what I mean? Even across Europe, Bournemouth, where at the end of the day, right, where we fleeced Bournemouth, all 3 players that we sold to Bournemouth, yeah. We fleeced them. Solanke, nearly 25 million we got for him, yeah. Jordan Ibe. That was between 15 and 18 million, yeah. Brad Smith, a guy from the academy, left back from the academy, Australian dude. We got nearly 10 million for him.
There's good money. Good money.
We literally fleeced them for like. No, but fleeced, man.
It's true.
It was
robbery, daylight robbery there in the making.
It's like some Dick Turpin business. You know what I
mean? James is saying, obviously, Liverpool still want Bowen. Do you see that happening?
I don't know. I don't know.
A big yes for Marianne on that one.
I can put it this way. I can see at the day West Ham doing everything in their power not to lose Bowen.
Well, he signed a new contract for one. Yeah.
Yeah,
So there's going to be mega bucks they're going to put to pay on that one.
yeah,
Then you've got to have words with Danny Dyer.
yeah. I know, innit? And I could get peaked, like.
straight away. So yeah, that's not much happening there. Anthony's asking you as well. Where do you think your new manager will take Liverpool?
Don't know, mate. I don't know. I don't honestly know, Anthony. It's not looking good. As I said, a couple of minutes ago. I just think personally, I think the leap from Feyenoord to Liverpool, I just think it's too big. I just think it's too big. I'm not sure if he can handle it. I'm not sure. You know what I mean? So I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. All I can say today is it's not looking bright. I think
the jury's out. The jury's out.
If somebody asks me now, I will say between 6th place and 4th place.
It'll be interesting. Good evening, Darren Sullivan. He's saying Saladin needs to go as good as he is. No point keeping him if he's not 100%. Is he committed to the cause? That's the thing.
I don't think he is, mate. You know what I mean? Listen, for all what frigging Jurgen Klopp has done for Salah, yeah? Right, for all the Klopp's done for Salah and they, right, and even members of the team and they, you want to treat Jurgen Klopp like that? You know what I mean?
That's true. It's like Revy say there, Liverpool, what can I see happening with transfers? Is we'll be told dreams come true like Gabriel and get the wish versions of the actual players. This is true.
No, that's true. That's true. You see, Ravi at the end of the day, right? One thing I love about Ravi, he speaks facts. He tells the truth.
Yeah. Good guy, Ravi. Good guy. Darren saying, I can't see this bloke doing anything with Liverpool. That's Arnie. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. It's you know what it is? I'll say it again. It's like Amron. Reason why sort of like Amron, people were so hyped about Amron, so excited about Amron, because what he's done with Braga and what he's done with Sporting Lisbon, and the fact that today he'd be playing a different style. Do you know what I mean? This guy's coming in. This guy's coming in. He's literally going to be playing the same like Klopp.
Yeah. So well, Rory said here, you know, and this is, as you said, facts. I keep saying it's lots of Liverpool fans need to stop being sentimental with past big players. They have to be a next manager or part of the club. Get people who know what they're doing to progress the club. And this is the thing, because looking at this, it's like taking 2 steps backward.
Yeah,
you made this progress, and then you're going to bring this kind of unknown into your club. We just got to look at Arsenal for that kind of levels of Arteta, haven't we? Really, buying for 70 million to Arsenal. Add a bit more onto that. Maybe another one on that end of that 7. Darren, we might be doing business.
Was that for Bowen?
Yeah, of course, man. Of course. Anthony's saying we all know Klopp is leaving, but my question is, why is there something going on behind that seems that Klopp doesn't like? So what's going on behind the scenes, basically? It seems that Klopp's was that the reason why he's kind of...
The reason why he's leaving. And Anthony, I implore you to go into my channel and then date, right?
Sorry, Avi, my bad. Yeah. He's talking about academic people, not academies, to my previous question. Well, the typical example for me, just kind of go off topic from Liverpool, was Man United, when you had Edward Woodward, who was the chairman of Man United. The man had no clue about football.
Yeah.
He was just a businessman, and well, you can see the mess that was left there, and they're still picking up these pieces to this day. Good evening, Lee. Sweet Tony. Yep, same to you, mate. Hope you're keeping well. Guys, as always, as you know, we've got a lot of content people in here. Don't forget to go to these channels and give them a share, a like, and a subscribe if you can. Yeah, and same with this guy as well. He's building up a nice channel. Drew Gunners. Danny Dyer. He's a prick's prick, as Kevin Bridges once said. It's true. And he's saying, 100%, Darren, I'll talk Danny Dyer around. Oh, yeah, because Uncle Anthony has a mean EastEnders voice to tell you that now.
No, he's proper. He's proper East End, isn't he? He's proper.
He is. Anthony is. Yeah, Anthony's definitely proper East End. He just does that tractor accent to throw everyone off.
I know, innit? And then when he sees me, all right, pal, how you doing? Aaron was a player for Benfica also. Yes, he was. He's a very good player for Benfica, actually. To go back to what I was saying, it's like what it is today. It's the jump that gets me. Yeah, the jump from Feyenoord. And the reason why people was excited, obviously, with Amron, is because what he's done at Braga and what he's done at Sporting Lisbon, and he was going to change at the start. This guy, and then when you look at it, he had one relatively good season with AZ Alkmaar, right? Hope I said it right. Where they nearly won the league, but what they avoided that league and gave it to sort of like Ajax because Ajax was ahead at that time, yeah. And then then he got to the final of he went to final and they got to final of the Europa Conference League, didn't he? Europa Conference League got the final because I think he won the league or something like that, right? So he's won one league, and then this season and day he's won the cup. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Now the Eredivisie, right? I'm not being funny at the end of the day, right? It's a pale comparison, even to when he tried to compare it to the Portuguese league. You know what I mean? It's not very strong. However, they have produced some good players at the day, but these players at the day haven't sort of like made their names at the day in Holland. You know what I mean? They've made it elsewhere. Like Ruud van Nistelrooy came to sort of like Man United at the day, right, and made his name. You know what I mean? Scoring most goals in Europe and so on. The rest is history. Do you know what I mean? Wesley Sneijder made his name in a number of clubs over Europe. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, and it goes on that. They'd have when they're sort of like in sort of like Holland at the day. Nobody really knows them until they come out. Do you know what I mean? De Ligt, and they made his name at the day with you know what I mean, with Juventus and also sort of like Bayern Munich. Do you know what I mean? You know, it's just I just think Mark van Bommel. Remember him, Mark van Bommel? Do you know what I mean? He made his name at the day with Barcelona. Do you know what I mean? So I just think in the day sort of like, you know, you needed to go for somebody more experienced than what you have gone for. You know what I mean? All right, taking a risk. You take a risk at the day with managers, yeah? You always take a risk in managers, right? But you can minimize the risk that you're taking. And I'll tell you what, going with Amron was minimum risk. It was minimum risk. But this one here, it's a big risk. If it doesn't work out, what are you going to do then?
No, it's true. That's true. I mean, Ravi's asking the question here: why in football does there have to be this player or manager is the next so and so? Why can't they be there themselves, basically, and still take influences?
Yeah, I believe in that. But even I've got to go back to Amron again. Do you know what I mean? Amron done his bones at Braga. He made his bones at Braga. He was so impressive in the day, sort of like that. They brought him up to the first team, yeah, and he done even better at the first team. In that Sporting Lisbon took him after Braga beat him in this sort of like in the Portuguese Cup, and then he's gone on to Sporting Lisbon, had success at sort of like at Sporting Lisbon. Do you know what I mean? Right. So he's carved out an identity for himself. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's what I think should happen in the day. People carving out identity for themselves. One of the reasons that Van Bommel was good. He was a good player. Mark Van Bommel, trust me, a wicked midfielder. Rare Rafael van der Vaart. He was quality, Rafael van der Vaart. He was quality. You know what I mean? Huntelaar, Uncle Rodz, who's winning the Premier League. You know what? I would like to say Arsenal, because I want Arsenal to win it, to be honest.
End the stream, Dave. End the stream.
Yeah, I would like to say Arsenal, but I think something's telling me that Man City's going to win it. Something's telling me. But if you ask me who I want to win it, I'll say Arsenal.
Good. Another question for you, Uncle.
Yes, mate.
Name your 5 all-time players at Liverpool.
Yeah, there's been some ballers back in the day. There's been some ballers. Okay. Do I do it in order? Or just name them. Early doors. Fancy dress for Halloween. That's
100%, Remy. 100%.
He's a savage. How about rocking up? How about rocking up as fucking Anfield and say, "Yeah, money, mate."
I'll take the wages. Yeah, no problems at all.
Oh god, I'm just gonna name them. I'm not gonna put more. I'm gonna name them.
Mhm.
Kevin Keegan. He was a baller. He was a baller. Fairclough, super sub.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Barnes is in there. Gerard. Sadio Mane.
There's some good players.
Sadio Mane in day, right? You know what I mean? To talk about him, get a lump in the throat. His commitment to the team was like no other. You know what I mean?
Do you feel it was hard done by?
Yes, I do.
Mm.
I
Yeah, I kind of agree on that.
I do. I think people say it and they sort of like, well, they're trying to improve the offer, you know what I mean, for him. Not good. It wasn't good enough. Do you know what I mean? For what he done for the team. Do you remember, I remember when we got back into Champions League and we went all the way to the final with Real Madrid, and Salah got injured, didn't he? Ian Rush, Kevin Keegan, Kenny, and Barnes. Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. Jan Modi, he was good as well. He was good. Oh, he was only like no. Jan Modi was good because he was like the first kind of like foreign
Oh,
player.
I loved him.
I do like him still. And basically, in day, what happened in day, right? Cut long story short, Salah gets injured, right, and has to go off, and Sadio Mane just says, "Fuck it, come on, lads, it's fucking take this game by its end, man. Let's not let our heads drop." And he was playing out of his skin. You know what I mean? And he wasn't the first time he did that. When we played against Barcelona and then we beat them 4-0, right? This guy, that is an attacker. He was left back, right back, centre back, DM, right? Just a normal midfielder, winger, left winger, right winger, striker. He was everywhere.
Yeah.
Even the commentator couldn't keep up with him because every time like they looked at Mane, he was in a different position, and he's doing all to help the team. Because remember, there was no Salah that night, wasn't there? Salah wasn't playing that night because he was injured. He was everywhere. His commitment to the team at the day, right? I tell you what, I'll go so far as saying it today. Since Sadio Mane went, the team has never been the same.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, that breakup of the attacking three, isn't it? With Firmino as well.
Yeah,
Darren saying here, Barnes, Rush, Dalglish, Hansen, Gerrard.
that's good. That's a good one.
Marianne's asking me, early doors, who are the best 5 players to play for West Ham? Well, Bobby Moore's got to be in there. Billy Bonds.
Yeah, of course.
Trevor Booking. I would say Alan Devonshire. And Dimitri Payet. And of course, if I was going for another person, he's just over my shoulder now. He's ready to slap my head.
Yeah. I was going.
Di
I
Canio.
thought my best in there, boy.
Yeah, Clive Best is good as well. There's a few others I can mention, but 5. Yeah, she's asked me 5, so yeah.
You know what is it, Nate? When somebody asks you for 5, sometimes I think it's a bit unfair because there's so many you can mention. I mean, even sort of like Harry Redknapp, what a player!
Yeah,
What a player!
good player.
Alan Kirbishley, what a player!
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These are players that that's come through at West Ham, and they were really good. So you can't really name five, can you?
There's a few. Oh, you know, you got to think at the end of the day, and that we produced England players, especially the likes of Frank Lampard and Michael Carrick, Glenn Johnson, Joe Cole,
Rio Ferdinand.
Ferdinand, the two Ferdinand brothers.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's one of those. Very soon, but a lot of managers or players want to be like many others, like Arteta with Pep and Martial with Thierry Henry. This is very true. Yeah. I mean, this is what Uncle was saying earlier on, where, unfortunately, we look at most clubs now, they all try and play off the same hymn sheet, like, playing with these inverted wing backs and the hidden number 9 and stuff like this. Whereas someone take the ball behind and just play a little bit different.
Yeah.
Stop being like everyone else. Quite worked hard player he was, yeah.
Oh yeah, Dirk Kuyt was he's phenomenal.
Oh yeah, Ian Rush and John Aldridge, good shout.
Yeah, good shout.
I might have them. Will the Trinity be among them? Holy Trinity be among them. What about early doors, aka Peter Beardsley? Good player. Yeah, I look like Peter Beardsley. I must admit. Very say my favourite player defender was Mark Wright. If you know, you know. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he was good.
Lee's gone a little different. He's gone for the Arsenal guys. Mine is Adams, Vieira, Bergkamp, Wright, and Henry. Yeah, he's going to say Kanye.
You know what? If I was a Liverpool supporter, I'm not a Liverpool supporter. If I was an Arsenal supporter, I couldn't disagree with that. Very good.
McAvenny. I mean, great signing for us. It was great how they, John Lyle signed him in a little chef. I'm trying to which what A road it was on, but he signed McAvenny on the side, on a little chef cafe.
Oh, wicked.
Shaggy saying no Ian Dowie. I mean, Ian Dowie, man. I mean, when you look at it, there was a man that always tried.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think. It was I don't know. Was it Sheffield Wednesday? I think it was when he defended the corner and he pinged the ball, bullet header, top right hand corner, own goal. His face is just a picture. The late great Bobby Moore goes without saying. Absolutely,
quality,
absolutely.
Jimmy Greaves,
Jimmy Hill, yeah. Tony, Marco Boogers. I was there at that game as well. That's when he took out Gary Neville. It was pissing down the rain, and this man literally from the sideline, he ran on. He must have leapt like an 8 foot up in the air, 2 foot, bang, clapped out Neville, and red card, and then ended up in what was it now? Some caravan in Canvey Island. Lost he would do lally.
Oh, was it Slate missing? Yeah.
Oh. The roof was blown off, Uncle. That's what was happening on that one. Why does no one ever pick goalkeepers? Try playing 90 minutes without one. This is very true, Drew. I mean, if you look at it, Phil Parks, for West Ham, Phil Parks was a great keeper. Even when we kind of
what you said, the roof blown off.
Yeah. But Phil Parks, I remember with Phil Parks, it's the fact that even when we played him, what was in the 90s and that man, what was he? I think he was in his 40s at that stage. The amount of cortisone injections he had to have in his knees just to make sure he can bend and stuff like that. His knees were shot, absolutely shot. Yeah, Darren, exactly. Go back to 4-4-2. You ever go? We ever go? Much more exciting, exactly. Rather than all this kind of try and be tricky, pokery kind of thing. Yeah, A12 probably. Yeah, more likely, Lee. Evening, Malia. How we doing? Hope you're keeping well. That's the one. Stockport County. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was a great goal. It was a great goal because there's ones you expect your forward to score, but wow. It was that Silverback from you had Julian Dix.
Yeah, I heard about him.
Julian Dix, man. Well, of course, he come to you, didn't he? Then he had the knee injury, and then he come back to us.
Yeah.
And he had all the treatment and that, and they were slowly started bleeding back into match fitness, and he got put into a youth game with the under-15s. The coaches said to him, and that easy now, yeah, these are kids. Yeah. First challenge, he comes in, bang. this kid goes 360 up in the air, and all you hear from the sideline was Dixie, and he looked over and went, "Sorry, boys." It's just, yeah, but it's in the system. It's in the system. You know what I mean? It's one of those. But yeah, he was a beast of a defender. Franny Jeffers up there for Arsenal. Wow.
Remember him, remember him.
Yeah, Fox in the box. And he's saying David Seaman was good, but let's be honest, his name is in his name is on everyone's lips.
Oh, fuck. I like
that. My mum used to sit. I remember you saying this. Yeah, his mum used to babysit Julian Dix.
Oh, see, okay.
Oh, Layman. God, I've just seen him, but only just. God,
Yeah,
that man. That's another one. Was probably was friends with Marco Bugas. Let's see. Now, what's another question I can ask you? Let's see now. Let me see now. Listen. Oh, here's one for you. If you could become the owner of Liverpool, what would you do and why?
Listen, if I became the owner of Liverpool, I will clear out FSG. They'll go first. It's like what it is with FSG. They're businessmen. I mean, they're businessmen. They're not football supporters. They know nothing about football.
Yeah, but what would you do then? Come on, you tell me. Yeah, you've suddenly bought Liverpool Football Club. What are you going to do with it and why?
I would get people and that sort of like in and that's got a passion for football. You know what I mean? That have like probably played the game on some kind of like level. Do you know what I mean? And get them in and get them in the club, because I feel that they sort of like you need footballing the people. You need people that's got a footballing brain. Do you know what I mean? That know about football and stuff. So literally in the day, people like Richard Hughes, they'll be gone. Yeah. And he be gone, and his pal Gary, whatever his name is, he's there, right? Michael Edwards, he's going. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, right. And I'll bring back Klopp. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, Klopp will come back in. He has to come back in. Klopp will come back in, and they right. And I get people in, because I own the club, but obviously I'm there, I'm gonna have people working for me. Do you know what I mean? I will get people and that's got a knowledge of football, literally knowledge of football. I'll even probably, I'll probably get sort of like something like Steven Gerrard and to be sort of like a sporting director. Do you know what I mean? Get people in it and either has played for the club or know about the club at the day, right? As my structure of the club. Do you know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying? And if you ain't doing the job right, I don't care who you are, you're out the door, mate. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? There's no margin for errors. Do you know what I mean? And Klopp at the end of the day will get, literally, Klopp will get what he wants. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you want that player, you're getting that player. You know what I mean? And I'll send Gerrard and day. I said, look, Klopp wants his player. Make it work. Get it done. Get it done. Do you know what I mean? So put it this way, I will change up the structure for the better. You know what I mean? Because I don't believe the structure that we've got in at the moment. I don't believe it. They've got Liverpool at heart. They haven't got Liverpool at heart. They haven't got Liverpool's best interests at heart. They haven't, because what it is at the day with FSG and as long as that money's coming in, yeah, they're fine. So truly in the day, so like they're not there to win anything. They're there to compete, because when they compete, they get money. They get money. Whether they're competing in the Europa Cup or whether they're competing in Champions League, they're getting money. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. It builds up their portfolio. Do you know what I mean? Because I always said it in the day, FSG are building a portfolio, and they're going to go after something really, really massive. I don't know what it is, but they're going to go after something really, really massive, right? And they're going to have their portfolio there that's going to sell them. You know what I mean? And they're going to get what they want to get, Do you know what I mean? Whether it's so like a chain of franchises at the day of like sports entities in America or across the world, I don't know. But they're going for something really massive, and and they're using people in clubs like Liverpool, Boston Red Sox. They've got a club I think they've got a club in Brazil. Do you know what I mean? Using all and they partly own. Well, they backed this guy and then that bought AC Milan. That was backed by these Fenway Sports Group. That was backed by them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they're going for something major. So they ain't really got our best interests. I'll literally employ people that give a shit.
That's
You know
good.
what I mean?
Good answer. Ravi's asking, who was the keeper for West Ham that had the amazing solo goal? Well, if you look at that was he actually signed for you. That's Adrian.
Adrian, oh yeah.
In Mark Noble's testimonial, he ran the flow length for the pitch and scored the goal. Mad Jens is the one. Agreed, Drew. My favourite Arsenal keeper. Fucking Nato is dedicated. True.
Yeah, he was.
And if I was the owner, I would sack Arteta, bring in Simeone and Inzaghi and kick Edu into the box. I'm biased when it comes to Lehman. He's a fellow countryman. Yeah, this is very true.
Oh, he's from Germany, is he?
Yeah. Drew, I'm English, so far from biased with Lehman. He's a legend at Arsenal, in my opinion. It's very true.
Whereabouts? Let me ask Drew and Dave. Whereabouts in Germany are you from, or do you live? Whereabouts are you from? Let me know in the comment section. Because I spent some time in Germany, 2 years. Lovely place. You love it, mate. You'll love it. Do you like your beer?
Well, he'll come in with the answer in a minute. So, Uncle,
do you like beer? Do you like beer?
Beer, spirits, yeah. As long as it's liquid, I don't mind.
Listen, you'll love Germany, mate. They've got all kinds of beer out there. You'll love it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to come back, mate. Tell you.
What inspired you to do YouTube in your channel? He was born in Munich. There you go.
Oh, Munich is a lovely place. Lovely place. Seriously, it's lovely. It's lovely. I have to say Coppish, really. I have to say Coppish, and they really, really gave me the drive. I mean, I was thinking about it, but I saw Coppish and that, and I saw the way they are with each other, and that. There was a guy before Coppish and that I spoke to, and but he came off for some reason. I never seen him again. I don't think Coswork. This guy called he used to have a channel called On the Bench. He's called On the Bench, and he was a Liverpool supporter. Very nice guy. He lived up in Kent way. Do you know what I mean? And actually had the good pleasure of meeting him one time when we was coming back from the Champions League final. And we stopped off at M4. This is when we played Real Madrid. We Salah got the injury and that. You know what I mean? And I was chatting with him. But my real inspiration, I have to say, Coppish. When I saw the way they are together, I mean, listen, I still watch them now. Good friend. I'm good friends with Cal. You know what I mean? And that's somebody I would like to, obviously, for him to come on your show for the spotlight thing. I love it. So I'm gonna try and get you the contact, because this guy and he's spot on. You know what I mean? And the rest of these people, and Matt as well, Matt, 15, and just the way they are together, and they got such a vibe, and then right, and then really make it exciting, and to sort of to do YouTube and all that. And you know what is it? If they know, they're always promoting other people's channels. They always say, you make sure you like and subscribe to Anfield Uncle Rodz, Jamie Phillips, and so on. Do you know what I mean?
That's nice. Yeah, good community kind of, basically.
No, they're spot on, man. They're spot on. It's like many people and that even sort of like that are not sort of like Liverpool supporters really like them. So they was the ones. Coppish was the ones that really gave me the inspiration that they just go and do this. So all due to respect to the Coppish family.
So yeah, big up to them. Two more questions for you, basically. So the first one out of the two is, if you had a chance to talk to any player or manager, and that's not just Liverpool, I mean, What main question would you ask?
Oh, fuck me. You got some good questions, you know. Beckenbauer, Franz Beckenbauer.
Oh, what a choice! What a choice!
I'll ask him. I'll have to ask him, how do you do it? How do you do it? And I mean, like, how did you become such a phenomenal player? You took the game to different heights. He did. He took games to different heights. This is the guy at the end of the day that invented a different system all on his own. That since he invented it, everybody played it up until today. They're still playing that left wide back. And I'll ask him how, sort of like, you know, as a manager, and he done bits and they were Bayern Munich, didn't he? He won the leagues and that, and he also won the World Cup as German manager.
Yeah.
I'll ask him again, how did you do all that? Do you know what I mean? You know, basically, I will ask him one day, how did you achieve what you achieved in the game? How did you achieve that? You know what I mean? It's like, he's phenomenal. You know what? That is one of my best all-time players. One of my best all-time players. You know what I mean?
Anthony thinks his questions have been good tonight. Yeah, they're not been so bad ones, mate. I must admit. But yeah, Beckenbauer.
I'll let you know.
Beckenbauer. Yeah, exactly. That's right, isn't it? But Beckenbauer, that's a great choice. That is an absolutely smash, knock it out of the park choice. And then the last question I want to ask you, and that as we're getting near to the end of the show, is if you were stuck on a desert island, what 3 people would you like to be stuck with?
It has to be women, though, isn't
it? West Germany at the time. Yeah,
I'm not really the fact to be stuck on a desert island with men, pal. You know what I mean?
Depends on your conversation, Uncle. You know, or how you going to pass the time?
Yeah, I'm still not having it. Pamela Anderson, yeah. Because apart from her obviously having a great body, she's actually a fun person to be around. I've seen her interviews and that. Do you know what I mean? She's really like fun and bubbly and there, and doesn't take herself seriously. Do you know what I mean? That's one. Yeah, that bird that used to be that was in oh gosh, what's that comedy with the 2 women at the day that was used to work in a cafe and did the cupcakes and all that. Oh, did the cupcakes. It was on not so long ago. Fuck, I forgot what it's called now. And
anyone in the chat knows what Uncle's on about? Please enlighten us.
It's trying to start up a cupcake business, but there was
Drew said if he was stuck on an island, he'd take his dog. People can't be trusted.
Yeah, but you can't shag your dog, though, can you? What do you do then? So yeah, her name's Cat. Her first name is Cat something. Can't remember it.
What, Cat Slater?
Fuck off. You're having a laugh, mate. No, I'm not having that, man. I'm not having that. Her and who's the other one? Who's the other one? Nia Long.
Okay. Look, you want to get that tissue, Uncle, because you know you're Cat Slater, look.
He's killing it,
you know. Eiffel Skinner, that is Uncle Rodz.
Who?
he's fucking aware with you.
These guys from Bristol,
man. Matthew Harrison, he's saying 2 broke girls.
That's it, 2 broke girls. That's it. 2 broke girls. Yeah. It's the one with the black hair. The one with black hair.
More to love than fucking. This is true.
Yeah. Not much though.
So Ravi's coming in with a question for both of us. With ex-football players or people, would you be able to get onto your channel? Who would you like to get on your channel?
Ooh, An ex-footballer.
Mm.
Okay. Clive Best. Clive Best. No, seriously, Clive Best. Because
Hmm.
I will ask him, how did he cope at the day
Yeah.
when he came into West Ham at the day,
Hmm.
right? You know, playing West Ham, and obviously at the day that was a height of racism at that time. There, you know what I mean?
Hmm. Hmm.
Wenger dressed it up in him. How did you cope with all that? Do you know what I mean? You know, how did you cope and how did you get on? And how was it in the day meeting people like Jimmy Greaves and Bobby Moore, because
Yeah.
they was really friendly with him, weren't they? They was like
Yeah. Because
they
when you
kind of
look
looked
at,
after him.
Ron Greenwood as a manager with him,
Yeah.
and then Lyle being there as well.
Do you know what it is? You know what I said about Ron Greenwood today, right? He was a good guy because you know what it was? He broke the mold, because really and truly, at that time in the day, he had a fair amount of black players that used to play for his club, you know.
Hmm.
You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And then when you look at other teams in that era in the day, right? Not so much black players used to play for their clubs. They didn't really have a lot of black players at the time, but that
Mm.
Ron Greenwood, he had quite a few. I mean, obviously the name that stands out is Clive Best, but there was a few more others that were there, and that were very good. And then so he kind of like set the trend. You know what I mean? Set the trend to say, well, look, you know what I mean? They can play football as good as anybody else. Why wouldn't I have them? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, Clive Best would be a person that I would love to be.
Mm. Well, funny for me in that when he's saying that, I mean, obviously, like I've read his book, and it'll be John Lyle for me, West Ham manager.
Okay.
Yeah, because obviously his career was cut short back in the day. Knee injuries wasn't exactly were great. You know what I mean? So when you look at something like that, um, him and Greenwood, when Greenwood took him on to basically bled him into the West Ham way, they would sit in the car park for hours just talking
Mm,
football, hours.
mm.
And yeah, that would be great to to actually kind of understand that basically, what that entailed. Because as you
Yeah,
said, Greenwood changed basically kind of in certain respects the so-called Academy of Football
yeah, he
all
did.
started from him.
He did.
Ravi's asking you here that show there, what's it, the Two Broke Girls. How old is that show?
It's not that old. It's
You ate my mother.
it ain't that old. It used to be on a couple of years ago. I never used to watch it because I don't really like sort of like
Thank you, Matthew.
big up Matthew. I don't really like sort of like saucy humor because it's like saucy humor in it. You know what I mean? Like a bit like the Carry On films and that. Do you know what I mean? I don't really like that type of humor. But I know what I know of this woman and that she had a nice rack on her still. So
It's nice
you know what I mean?
record.
No, I mean,
Let me
it's
just.
probably that bad. Hey, this guy Matthew Harrison at the day, big him up, man, and make sure you subscribe to the UTCIAD channel, man. He's a really great guy. I've had him on my show a few times.
Okay.
It'd be good to get him on there as well on your show. He's very, very, very interesting guy, and he's very
I'm already because obviously I'm already subscribed to him here, but also see there's also the Cherries Extra as well. Is that your other show there, Matt?
yeah. It
'Cause
must
if
be.
so, I'll also subscribe to that as well.
Yeah, he's a great
Yeah.
guy.
Mm.
I've done, I think 2 or 3 streams with him. Two on my channel, and I've been on his channel as well. Great guy, man. I've got a lot of respect for him. Lovely guy.
So Ravi's also asking, and thanks, Matt, for your comments on that. Really appreciate that, mate, especially coming from you as well, because again, uh, people like you and us, it's good to get these kind of content and talking with each other.
Yeah.
And I've seen some of your shows, and they're really good, mate. Ravi saying, can both of you realistically get any ex-football people or players on your channel? Hey, we can only but try. I mean, I know my brother-in-law when he was on with rest of his soul, Claude. They managed to get Kevin Campbell on there a couple of times on the show. But
I
I
can
don't
get
know.
I can get my cousin on. I can get my cousin on because he
Mm,
gave me his number and he said to link him up. Mitchell Thomas. I can get him on my show. You know what I mean? I'm looking because what is it the next season? Next season, I'm looking to do more podcast based. shows and that. Do you know what I mean? You know,
Mm.
so
Big up Redbird.
I'm looking to sort of like kind of like see if we can get him on there and see if he can obviously get hold of some sort of like some of them ex Luton Town footballers and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. All humour is good. Absolutely, and that's what it's all about, Drew. As well.
Yeah.
Rivalry aside, it's all about that as well,
Mm.
guys. As we're an hour and 30 minutes into it. In that, if you've got 2 or 3 questions to throw into Uncle, please put them into the chat if you can. There. Not so sure about this one, but we'll put it in anyway. Question, Uncle Rodz. Both early doors and hut fuzz. If you're to save one from a snog from Susan Boyle, which one would you save? You can only pick one. Who would you save, Uncle? Me or Fuzz?
I save none of you, mate. That's what I was saying. Said none of you.
I said rivalry aside of that, you just got to done that to me, man.
I see Susan Moore coming towards you too. I say, right, I'm out, mate. I can't help you.
Which was decent to set the back and left back in the 80s, definitely was.
Yeah.
I was just going to say Kevin Campbell seems to pop up and show. Yeah, of course. I think he's on commission as well, Drew, knowing him. Always be able to come on and join you on your show, and I look forward to joining Uncle Rodz again. Yeah, Matt, be superb to doing that. I mean, obviously, if you want to, I'll do a show on the Sunday Night Takeaway show. You're quite welcome to come on that, and and if I do a spotlight, you're quite welcome to come on that as well. No, I appreciate the offer, Matt. I'll definitely take that up with you. That's for sure. They're saying hello to each other again, brother. She's here for me. So, guys, I'll give you a couple of minutes. If you've got any questions for Uncle Rodz, please put them in there. Let's see some of your comments and stuff.
Just to say about his comment about obviously all humor is good. Yes, it is. It's just some humor, and it doesn't do anything for me. So, like, I tend not to listen to it. But, like, most of the rest of the humor, and it's good. You know what I mean? Because I like to laugh. I love to laugh, and you know what I mean. Exercise my laughing glands, as it were. You know what I mean? But like I like some of the Cockney humor. I like. Do you know what I mean? Irish humor. I tell you, the Irish, they can tell some good jokes. Irish can tell some really good jokes, and they're very quick. Very quick. They're very quick.
I think Ravi might have one coming up in that. So we'll wait for his question and stuff.
Yeah. But Irish, and what is your background anyway? If you don't mind me asking.
Well, the interesting part, I mean, I didn't until when I never realised myself, but when my father passed away, and we was clearing out the house and that, then I come to realise that there is some Irish background in the family because his mum apparently was Irish. I never really, my grandparents were dead and buried before I was even thought of. In my dad's pants, basically. They was already dead and buried by that stage already. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's only when we come to kind of clean the house up and that come across that.
Yeah. So you're mostly an Irish background, yeah.
Well, I think if you look at it, it's mostly it's on my dad's side, but yes. Yeah, I mean both my parents come from the East End.
Yeah.
That's where I've grew up from, and the funny part about it, even over the years, I had some people saying like, "You're Australian?" Nah. New Zealand? Nah. East Ender, mate. That's where I'm from. I'm from the East End. Thank you very much. Rabbit's coming with a question. Which one player from your clubs would you like to have played alongside if you were a player?
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's a hard one. I'll let you go first.
Man behind me. And there is another one as well, funny enough. And he came to join us in the later years, and that the family was blessed with football, and that was Clive Allen.
Oh yes, he was a player. Me, Mane, and Gerrard. Mane and Gerrard.
I mean, I was when Clive Allen came to us, and that when I was at Chadwell Heath, he was with the youngsters and he was showing them how to bring a ball up from down in the air, trap it on the chest, and then hit it on the volley. And just watching him talking to player, these youngsters, inspiring them, and
Yeah.
what the technique he was showing and stuff like that. I mean, that's what I'm saying. That just shows you there and then. Doesn't matter what kind of level you've played at, kind of thing. If you're the love of the sport, you're passing it on to other people. And these youngsters are looking and see like, yeah, I want to do that. You can't beat that.
No, you can't. I don't think. You know what? I don't think you get that anymore. I think what is sad at the day is like a lot of the old traditions at the day that was in football. It's just gone.
No, that's true. That's true.
New traditions. It's like.
Drew saying you can't beat dark humour as just like Anthony, really, when he says his uncle likes Bristol. Drew's saying here, I'll stay out of the conversation when it comes to my family background.
Why? Listen, no.
You got to think at the end of the day, and it was the best experiment they ever made. Drew Gunners VR, best experiment, mixture of all sorts. Honestly, Drew, I know you're not. Matthew's saying, Uncle Rodz, you've got a great new technical director in Richard Hughes. But what about your next manager, Arnold Slot? Is that it spelt? No, it's Schwarzenegger. How will he continue Klopp's good work?
I don't think he will, to be honest. To be honest with you, Matthew. And yeah, I appreciate the fact that there's like of like your opinion of like Richard Hughes, because it's all about opinions, you know what I mean? And I appreciate your opinions, but I don't think, to me, I don't think he's like, I don't think he's good enough. I'll be honest at the end of the day. But you know what? At the end of the day, I could be proven wrong. Simple as that. I could be proven wrong, and I love to. When it comes to my team, I love to be proved wrong. Right? Arnie Slot at the end of the day, I think with Arnie Slot, maybe at the day he's a good manager, but I think the jump is too. This jump that he's doing, he's going to be doing, is too high. It's too high, man. From Feyenoord, and then from Feyenoord, you're jumping to the most successful club in British history. That's what you jump into. You know what I mean? So I don't see it working. I mean, Ten Hag at the day done Ten Hag at the day done more better in Holland than what Arnie did, yeah. And look how it's turned out for Ten Hag. You know what I mean? You got like Ronald Koeman, yeah. Got the frigging Southampton relegated. You know what I mean? I just don't think it works out for Dutch managers. But he could prove me wrong. You never know. You know what I mean?
Let's see. Darren saying, yeah, Klopp is a hard act to follow. Absolutely. We both agreed on that. And Matt's asking me early doors, Moyes out or Moyes to stay? I think the problem I've got with Moyes is the fact of, I've been asked this question before. At the last 3 years, you got to, a semi-final, a final, and a quarter-final. So 3 years in Europe, we've done really well with that. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at something like that, I can't knock that. The only thing that can sometimes let Moyes down is his tactics. There's times when he kind of shines, and in the games you expect him to kind of carry that on. He just does a little bit of a madness, and well, we see the results. Basically, it doesn't go well. So for me, yeah, I'd still like to keep him on in certain respects, but I think also we need a fresh injection of ideas just to kind of move us forward, because I think that's what's holding us back at the moment.
Cool.
Ravi saying Rodz and early doors are definitely secret lemonade drinkers.
Oh, do you remember advert? That was heavy, boy.
Oh man, this slot guy is set up for failure, just like Emery following Wenger. This is true.
Yeah,
it's good. Yeah. Well, this is the thing, Darren, because it's again, 1 minute there's a contract on the table, and then they say there's, it's being pulled away. For me, I was just watching Moyes' body language, and I think the man's going. Basically. Yeah, I've seen that way. I've just kind of flashed it out on my eyeballs as well, kind of thing. And of course, Eddie Nketiah will be a West Ham player next season. This man is trying to fly on this dead horse for ages. for ages. That advert, yeah, is it true? I'm a secret lemon.
Always,
Big
always.
Bournemouth connections with West Ham, Harry Redknapp, John Bond, Rio Ferdinand, Scott Mean, Jermaine Defoe, and I can keep going with names. Absolutely.
Facts.
Absolutely. I mean, when you look at it, Jermaine Defoe, another great player as well.
Yeah,
Young Rio Ferdinand, remember him? Yeah. I remember taking him home one time. Early doors. How good is the number 2 at West Ham? He's not bad. He's not bad. He wasn't bad as a player. He wasn't bad at all in that respects.
That's Kevin Nolan, isn't it? Is it Kevin Nolan?
Yeah. He knows how to do the old chicken dance.
Yeah,
Anyway. He knows how to do that sort of things. But I think a change is possibly due, especially with the new Steadtime. But then, fun enough, if you look at the rumours that have been flying around today, apparently Moyes has banned Steadtime from coming to training because obviously the rumours of bringing this manager in to replace Moyes. Oh, Darren's definitely showing the age here. I'm a secret Thunderbird drinker. Do you remember Thunderbird?
No, big man. Big man thing, man. Big man thing, man.
Everyone getting mashed up on the Thunderbirds.
Oh, mate.
What was the other big bottle stuff?
Can I?
No. Was it Can I?
Yeah, it was Can I. There's 2 of them. It was Thunderbirds. Thunderbirds was the stronger one because it was wine, isn't it?
But what was that bigger? Lambrini.
Yeah, but like Lambrini was like a Canai as well.
Oh, that's true.
Canai was like that as well. Do you know what I mean? Because I remember sort of like Thunderbird. The 2 drinks were Thunderbird and Canai.
Look at that! Look, that advert stop children sneaking down the stairs. The secret living.
Yeah, man.
Who do you want to take over? My choice, Matt, is I like Thomas Frank. I think he's a great manager.
Oh yeah,
because he talks a good game. He's got that kind of background, that kind of community kind of thing with the fans, that connection with them, which is great to have. And he's not a bad manager. But
I'll tell you what. I'll go so far as saying in the day, I would take Thomas Frank over this guy we got in coming. I would take him because
but then the managerial merry-go-round, because they're talking about possibly him going to Man United now. There's one minute Brighton, now they're talking about Man United. So I can't believe that. And he's asking thoughts on Dean Ashton as a player. Career cut too short. Thanks, Ashley Cole. Superb for that. He would have been I think a future legend as an England player, and he would have definitely been a legend at West Ham. I mean, that bloke was scoring goals for fun, and then he goes and gets picked for England because obviously what he was doing, and then in a training session, Ashley Cole smacks his ankle in, and that was it. Man was finished.
Yeah, he was finished. Yeah, and he bought him from Norwich City.
From Norwich, yeah. Career just cut too short. And it's a great shame because I think he would have been an exceptional player for us.
Oh, yeah.
Diamond White. Oh, man. Yeah, Jesus.
Oh, that's horrible.
Frank would be ideal at West Ham or a bigger club like Arsenal. Yes, very true, Darren. Yeah. I mean, yeah, we know the story on that one. Pat O'Bant had a song about Thunderbirds. Yeah, that's true. You did.
Yeah. Birmingham.
Graham Potter, West Ham. It seems more than likely than anything, even though apparently Sullivan has not even entertained Potter at West Ham. It wouldn't surprise me. That's Matt. We was getting on so well at this until this point. This man's off to Man United, man. He ain't coming to us. There's no way, hell on earth. I think they'll burn down the London Stadium before they let that man in. That's for sure. There's no way. I remember it was Sean Wright Phillips that injured Ashton. I thought it was Ashley Cole, Sharky. I thought it was Ashley Cole.
I've got a joke about that, but I'm not going to say
it. You'll do it afterwards.
Yeah.
Diamond Lights, Hood and Wad. Yeah. You had to be on your toes as an 80s kid. So Jimmy and oof. Yeah.
That's a bit tight, mate. Allow that, man.
question: is Thomas Tuchel really all that good or bad realistically? I mean, what I saw of him when he first came to Chelsea, I think what I liked about him because you got to think most of those them players at Chelsea kicked out the likes of Mourinho, Conte, Sarri, and Tuchel first came in and basically set his stall out, and it was his way or no way.
Yeah,
And then obviously, I think there was a word suddenly in his shell like here, and then suddenly before you know it, man's gone.
yeah. But you have to have somebody at the end of the day that's sort of like that stands to authority. That's what I like. I like men like that. So that if Thomas Tuchel come to Liverpool, I wouldn't mind because at the end of the day, he ain't gonna take no shit. You know what
But
I mean?
you got to stick at doing it though. You know what I'm saying, Uncle, because at the end of the day, and that he started off like that and never maintained it. I think that's his demise at Chelsea. All
Yes,
right,
yes. Yeah, that'll be one of the biggest downfalls at the day. That sort of like he kind of like didn't carry on. You got good day. How you start off, that's how you got to go along for the whole
mm.
tenure. Whether you're there for sort of like 1 year or 2 years, you got to just keep it going, and you can't change in the middle of it. You know what I mean?
No, it's true. Is there any good top flight championship manager that could manage in the Premier? Well, there's another one that's a contender for us, and that's McKenna, Kieran McKenna from the Ipswich manager.
Yeah.
That would be a good choice. But for West Ham, we've got to make sure we've got a plan in place that involves a young manager like that. Let's see. NS Sports. Good evening. Good result for you guys today. Must be happy with that. Big up.
Yeah.
Evening, James. You talk about Sullivan tonight. We've talked briefly about Sullivan. I've seen your show, mate. Yeah, so I know you. I know your view on this one, but yeah, I mean, it's very interesting. Yeah, hopefully we can get him gone, but I can't count on that. As Anthony's asking, can you get rid of Sullivan? We'd love to. We'd love to do that. That joke was quite light for me. You should see the comments I don't send. You know it's bad if I think it's too much.
Good.
If so, give me the link. Bear with me,
Yeah,
James. Bear with
oh,
me.
Tony, give me 2 minutes. I'm gonna restart it and come
Oh
back
yeah,
to you.
yeah. Because I see you frozen at the moment.
Yeah, give me 2 minutes. I'll come back to you.
Bear with us, guys. Who does Liverpool West Ham bring in during the summer transfer window? That's an interesting one. Who do we bring in? Bear with me. Let's have a quick look. Where are you? Nah, nah. Let me just go back to that question. Bear with me, James. I'm just trying to. Where was it now? James, I see that your account's been suspended, apparently. So how else can I get hold of you, James? Let me come back to that one, Matt. Eddie and so Mo Salah face in new kit launch is ridiculous. His face is telling board, I don't want to be here. Thanks, mate. You're back in again.
It's back. Sorry about that. I froze a bit. You know what I mean? I was like there. Kept it.
Always. So we're briefly going to bring in James from E20 Zone as well because he wants to talk about our chairman at the moment. So we're going to bring him in as well for a little bit. So there's a question here that Matt's asked, Uncle. Who does Liverpool must then bring in during the summer transfer window?
They're looking at this guy, that guy Somerville from Leeds.
Okay.
Dutch winger. I'm looking at him, and apparently a few guys that they from Feyenoord. That's what all I know. You know what I mean? But that's what I know at the moment. But it can all change, you know, isn't it?
Of course.
I mean,
Uncle, this is James, Uncle Rodz.
How you doing, man? Bro? You good?
How's it going, bro? Not today. Tone knows why, but you know, it is what it is. You know, our fucking owners, mate, they're twats, honestly. Well, what do you make of it, Tone?
Matt, I just can't make heads or tails of it. I don't know what's going on.
It's the same old situation at West Ham currently right now. Like, listen, well, we're not. One thing with West Ham fans, and I think you agree, Tone, yeah, that we don't think we're above our station. That's one thing we don't like. We don't think we're like bigger than what we think we are. We always think that we should be at a standard, and if we get to that standard and maintain that standard, then we're happy as fans. But today it's just a joke on all fronts, isn't it? Like you got a manager having a row with a technical director. You got the owner sitting there not doing nothing. You got a situation. It's funny, really, because like Liverpool situation with Klopp, he come out and said that he was leaving the club. Yeah, everyone knows what the situation is. It gives Liverpool time to go and get the new manager, go and get Slot, who they've paid compensation to get him out of Feyenoord. And West Ham don't even know who's running the team on Sunday at the minute. It's just a carry on.
What's happened then? What's happened?
What it is, it's been a row between the technical director and David Moyes. And right. David Moyes is his contract coming to the end. Yeah. Basically now, yeah. Now, in any walk of life, you usually discuss where you're going in regards to the future. Like, are you gonna sign the deal? Are you gonna let him go? One, for the club's benefit, and two, for the fans' benefit. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, because you've got to know where you're landing, sort of thing. And at present, no one really knows what's going on. And I just think it's just such a shambles, mate. I'm not gonna lie. I've never known nothing like it. Like you see this in like League Two, right? I'm not gonna lie. You see this in League Two where managers run their conscience down and then go, you know what, might have a fresh start somewhere else. Not at a Premier League outfit. Definitely not.
Not West Ham as well, because West Ham, as I said, we was talking before.
Yeah.
And West Ham at the day is such a good institute. You know what I mean? A lot of people in the day sort of like look at like this is where I think people get short sighted. Because a lot of people look at clubs at the day now and thinking this is what they've always been like. Do you understand what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
And they're looking at sort of like West Ham now and thinking, and then well look, you're right. You know, there's been certain time in the Premiership era that it hasn't gone too well for you. And then actually think, well, you're like that all the time. You've been like that all the time. But they don't realise that today, right? You've got far more richer history than other teams have got. Do you know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying? And you're still, at the end of the day, a great institute. You know what I mean?
What so it is, beyond
a certain standard. What I think in the day is like West Ham as a club deserves a certain standard. I'm not saying
100%.
no standard. I'm talking about a certain good standard. They deserve it because they made their bones already. You understand what I'm getting at?
For me, West Ham's a top 10 side. Like big ground, big fan base. I don't think anywhere below top 10 is really acceptable for West Ham size. Yeah, if you go through all the clubs below us, you start pinpointing clubs, or maybe Everton. Everton's a big club. They are a big club. They've got a lot of history, and they're in a lot of grief at the minute. After that, Bournemouth, Palace. I don't see it. I really don't. I think West Ham should be a top 10 side, especially with the size of the fan base.
Yes.
Yeah, the issue that we have, and I've been on this train for a long time, mate. Right, I really have. For 8 years, I've been on this train. Is with the owner of the club. The owner of the club is a major problem. He's holding West Ham back. Simple as that. Do you know what I mean? And what it is, people got this in for Moyes currently right now. And I can understand it for the style of play and everything. Don't get me wrong, because the style of play isn't really acceptable, right? In the modern game, you don't play the way that we're playing currently right now. But in regards of achievements and what we've done over the last sort of 4 years, yeah, that's a lot of this is in spite of the owner, mate. Honestly, because no one expected. I don't know about you, Tone, but I didn't expect Moyes to do what he done.
No, that's true. No, it's true, mate.
When you lot was in the Europa Conference League final, I watched it as a neutral fan. I watched. Yeah, you lot put up a good display. Yeah, right. And I see what is it. The problems at the day at West Ham, I see the same at the day at Liverpool.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Because when Klopp come in, right, Klopp has done what Klopp has done. It's been in spite of FSG. It's not been because of FSG. It's been in spite of FSG.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Working with what he's got, getting the best out of what he's got, and going on and winning titles and that. Do you know what I mean? So I see the same problem. And what it is now is that the owners are making it worse now by they're getting in this manager, and they got like the structure of like the club, what they got now at the moment, well, what they're gonna have anyway, is weak. It's gonna be weak, and also as well, the surrounding situations of why Klopp's come out and said like he's leaving. You know what I mean? And you know, there's a lot to it. Do you know what I mean? And like, as I said, I've done a stream yesterday and I talked about it because I reacted to this guy's American guy's video, and I talked about it. I left the link in below for people to go and look at it. And a lot of things that what he was saying is what me, my pal, and a couple of other my pals that they have been saying in relation to why Klopp's going. So I see what West Ham is going through. I see it. You know what I mean? Because we're going through.
The only thing I will say, is that with Liverpool and West Ham, I get what you're saying, but Liverpool are never in fear of going down. With West Ham, there is always an opportunity where West Ham's a sort of club, right? For all the years I've been supporting them, I'm 37 years old. I've supported them for a long time. Yeah. When I look at West Ham, they could have a couple of good seasons, then one bad season could just kill the club stone dead, like anything. Do you know what I'm saying? The issue is that when you've had a good run that we've had, now is the time to go, right, what's the plan for the future?
Yes.
And no one can tell us.
No.
And this is where the owner has to come out and turn around and say to the fans, like, this is the situation. For some reason, right, and for me personally, I think the owner's playing the game here, big time. I think he's looking around for managers, seeing who's available, seeing who's cheap to a point, and at West Ham standard. If he can't get them, he's got the backup plan with Moyes. That's what I generally think. Because if Moyes was going and he wasn't going to get offered a new deal, and he's not, and if you're sitting in the boardroom and you're going, right, is this geezer the future or not? And people are saying, well, no, we're gonna have to look elsewhere. Then that sort of answers your question. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I mean?
He must know that. He must know that. And Moyes must know it. And they
Well, I think this is what's happened today. I think this is what's happened today because of that. I think Moyes has got to the situation where enough is enough.
Yeah.
So stead on that. Fuck off out of it. Don't come in here near the ground at the moment. I'm dealing with what's the end of the rest of the season. Let me deal with that. And if I am going to go, you can do your shit afterwards, but leave me alone. Fuck off out of it, basically. I think that's what it
Which
is.
is
Can't
unreal.
blame him, though. Can't blame him. He's perfectly right. He's perfectly right. And
Mm,
the
yeah,
thing about Moyes, what I respect in the day, right? Yeah, he's a man of his word. Yeah, he's a man of his word,
Yeah.
and he's straight. He's straight. You know what I mean? You know,
mm,
he ain't gonna mug you off. You know what I mean? He's gonna tell you straight.
yeah.
That's what I like about Moyes.
No, exactly.
What
And
I
it's
think
right.
it is with him, he's got it's like a gentleman's handshake, right? If I say to Tony, right, Tony, we're going to sort out something, but we're going to sort it out at the end of the week or the end of the month, that's a man's word. Like you go, but like your word is your bond, isn't it? Sort of thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Right? Do you get what I'm saying? And what some people are not getting is people think there's a contract there. If they have discussed it and he said, well, what it is, I'm going to get this season out of the way and I'm going to discuss it. Because there's a lot to take into account. His family, his life, everything. Like you don't know with people's lives, do you? So for that matter, I can understand why Moyes has got the hump. I really can.
Absolutely.
Because if managers are going round, they're pinpointing other managers. But then for me, this goes back to the owner. The owner should have turned around and said a month before the end of the season, Dave, we need to know what's going on, mate. Like, are you staying or not? If you are, we'll wait to the end of the season, and then we announce the deal at the end of the season, and that's it.
Yes.
If you're going, we need to make like alternative arrangements to go and find another manager now. Like, because we can't wait. We can't wait till you decide. We have to work on our terms also, right?
Exactly.
And they haven't done
Exactly
it. The board haven't done it.
Let me just go through some of these questions. Get the chat because he's gone mad all of a sudden. So Ravi's saying here, do you feel players use a club like West Ham as a stepping stone, or do they generally want to play there and stay long term? I mean, from my point of view, and I'll ask James afterwards, is the fact that we're not like that we used to be.
Agree.
I think now we've got that foundation where players do want to stay. But we do have a couple of players that do want to move on. I mean, you know?
I agree. I agree with you 100%. I think West Ham is the sort of club where people are looking to want to come to the club because of what's happened over the last few years. I think that's more to the point. If West Ham didn't get in Europe and West Ham were, let's just say, where Palace are currently right now, then I don't think West Ham could attract these sort of big names. Yeah,
No,
I think
exactly.
what I do fear is West Ham will sell big players one every year.
Yeah.
Which. Can I handle that? I think I can to a point if West Ham are competing at the top end.
We're better than 5 or 6 players like we used to do, mate, innit? That's for sure.
100%, yeah.
Marianne's saying here, do West Ham have money to spend?
They want to have.
Yeah, it's true.
I want to have, or there'd be a riot, trust me.
Oh, mate. This is always a running joke with us, obviously, is each to his own. West Ham want Eddie and Kit at home. Why don't you? Nah, not at all, mate. We know we're not flogging that one.
Nah, not for me. Danny Welbeck reboot.
Yeah.
100%.
Just asking, is there anyone better out there than Moyes that can take West Ham to the next level? That's a good question.
Right. I've had this question quite a lot. Yeah. There's 2 ways I look at this question, Tony. Yeah. The first question is, would I rather have a younger manager and build over the next 5 years? Yeah. Like build the side up and then hit it hard sort of 2 or 3 years into this project. Yeah. That would be my first option. Yeah. The second option is there anyone better? There is, but our owner don't pay for a manager. Like look at Liverpool. They identified Slot, went 9 million compensation, bang,
bang.
Done. Yeah, simple as that.
I mean, Uncle Rodz was talking about Amarin, and obviously, as you know, he came to us.
Yeah.
And as I said earlier on, apparently he's turned around and said, "No, it was a mistake coming to us and talking to us." Yeah. And I don't know what to take into that one, but basically,
what it is, he was always a dream for me. Amarin was always a dream. Like I always said, if West Ham want to be a progressive club and go to the next level, he would be your guy. With the people that are being mentioned currently right now, like Lopetegui, who's the other one who keeps getting mentioned? Fonseca's not bad, but the little manager's not bad. Like, I think that's worth the risk. Lopetegui's not worth the risk, mate. He just simply isn't. Like I just don't see it myself.
Well, apparently there's Milan, isn't it? And Milan's coming from now. He's not going there.
Nah, but listen, right. One of the reasons why my account got shut down because all the Milan fans, so they said they don't want him. So do you know what I mean? I had an influx of people on my Twitter from Italy, saying I love this geezer. right? Meaning me, and then saying about we don't want Lopetegui either.
That's brilliant.
So, what can you do?
Good evening, Jose. El Tel Cockerel, West Spurs fan here, and good guy as well. Even Tony and guests. Jose, obviously, I know it's sort to say. I know you've been working long hours today, but obviously, Chelsea beating you, weren't a bad result for you guys. Not exactly a great game for the neutral. I must admit, both teams were crap. This is why in mugs say you getting. They're happy with top four. This is Arteta. Dear me. Steve, you never walk alone. Good seeing you. Mark Robbins at Coventry City should be on West Ham's shortlist to replace Moyes.
Kieran McKenna is the guy for me.
Yeah, absolutely. If we're going to go with that 5-year plan, he's the man. He's the forward.
Yeah, I think what it is, it's an interesting one with McKenna, because if he does well for Ipswich, because I think Ipswich will go up. I think Ipswich will beat Huddersfield at the weekend, and I think they get the job done, and rightfully so. They've been the second best club in the league all season. Yeah, and I think Leicester, obviously, will go up as champions, and it is what it is. But it'd be interesting to see how Kieran McKenna does in the Premier League, because if he gets Ipswich in there and he keeps them into a steady position, then he's a future top manager. 100%.
Yeah, definitely. West Ham is a feeder club for the big clubs. We used to be.
Used to be.
Yeah. Not now. I think now is a different tact altogether, and that's what I like about it. The good thing about it, as you know, Steve, we sold Rice to Arsenal. Some people say it was big money. I'm happy for it, because the amount of times we basically shafted ourselves by selling players on, which are England players, future England players that we built, and basically made naffle on them. No sell-on clauses. We lost that big time. So
someone said to me the other day, Tony, funny enough, name me a player West Ham have actually sold on for profit that hasn't come from the academy, i.e. West Ham have signed the player and then he's gone on for an increased profit. There's hardly anyone.
No, exactly.
Right. I think the only one that Pyatt comes to mind.
That's the only thing I was going to say as well. Yeah, that's about it. Good evening, Henry. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for coming on. And evening panel in the chat. Players' career that fell off the cliff to need a new start. West Ham is a club to join and rebuild your career and get that.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I get it to a certain extent. I mean, if you're looking to rebuild your career, it seems like you go to the old pensioners club, which is Arsenal. When you look at the players who've gone on there, but I wouldn't say they rebuilt their career over there. That's for sure.
I don't know. When it comes to rebuilding, like when you look at the players that we have signed over the last 2 years, like Paqueta, Alvarez, Kudus, like we're signing younger players. We're going down that model. We're not signing people like who. Because West Ham was always known for the retirement home. You'd go there to sort of finish your career up.
True.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
I don't know how many times West Ham used to get people from Liverpool, Arsenal. I remember Rigobert Song coming to West Ham. Do you know what I mean? Right, I remember him. And who was the other one? There was someone else who came from.
Andy Cole.
Titi Kamara. Is another one.
Andy Carroll.
Andy Carroll, like that in there.
And feed them as well, didn't he? Craig Bellamy.
Craig Bellamy's another one, yeah. Right. But like we had Titi Kamara come to us. Like after the Rio Ferdinand money, right, we went out and had a right good spend up in Liverpool, mate. So they must have seen us coming, but no, I don't think we're that club anymore. I really don't.
I don't think so, yeah. I mean, Darren's saying here, why does it take 5 years to build? Well, I'll come back to that one. Who has ever done anything big over 5 years? Pep, Jose, Wenger, Graham, all successes within 2 seasons. I think it comes down to the money in that respect, what you can, and the players you buy in.
Would you say Arsenal? I'm not like, listen, I know a lot of people who are Arsenal fans. I'm not Arsenal's biggest sort of second club and all that, right, or anything like that. But would you say Arsenal have done a very, very good success under Arteta? I know they've only won an FA Cup, but look what they've done. They've built over a period of time to be where they are now. I do fear this year, because they could win the league. If they don't win the league this year, then next year they are going to be probably joint favourites to win the league. So
yeah, definitely.
Is that like he's been there the same amount of time as Moyes, Also,
he spent way more than Moyes.
Yeah,
definitely.
He spent nearly $1 billion on that team,
Yeah.
750 million.
Yeah,
he
so I'm
spent.
saying that's nearly $1 billion, and he'll probably want more money to spend in summer. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it could take his sort of like he's spending up to $1 billion. Do you know what I mean? So
I
if
think,
he doesn't win the league next season, I want to
Yeah.
know why.
I think what it is though, I think with this season, especially with Arsenal, if they don't win it and they just say they win all their games, City win all their games, that's a morale denting loss to lose the league like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because you have a think about it. Like, what more they got to do? Like, I remember a few years ago when Liverpool and City was like toe to toe, win, all the way to the end. I think City won it on goal difference. I think in the end, if I remember rightly.
No,
And
they won it by 1 point.
or 1 point was it?
Yeah,
in the end.
Each time they've won it. Put it this way, each time we've gone head to head,
Yeah,
they've won it by a point, single point.
that's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
Like,
Only the season and day that we kind of like the season that we won it, we was like 25 points ahead.
Yeah.
Time. But like every time we've been head to head and they've won it, it's like being by a point. And I think that's insane. I actually didn't feel bad. I didn't really feel bad not losing the league because it was just really exciting for the league. Do you know what I mean? To have these teams going head to head. And you never knew until the last day of the season and day, right, who was going to win. You know, you never knew. So it's exciting.
I mean, the thing is, when the first question he's asked here, why does it take 5 years to build? We're not being funny. That is basically, if you look at Arteta's remit. No, this next season will be the 5 years, and as James just said there, if he misses out this season, I don't. They've learnt from last season. You can see that.
Yeah,
but they've still not got that edge to take them to the top. They're not. For me, it's going to be City. I see it like that.
I think they're a centre forward away time.
Oh,
do you want me to be
most
honest?
definitely. I mean, if you look at us, we say our bench is weak. If you look at Arsenal's, it's just probably just as weak as theirs.
I think if you put a centre forward in there who picks up 15 to 20 goals in that bracket, they would have won the league this season.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because what it is when you're relying on basically false nines and things like that, right? And what someone said to me, an Arsenal said to me, said it's okay playing the same way that they play, but then once plan A don't work, there's no plan B.
That's right.
He has to carry on with plan A.
He's proved that.
And that's the problem. Whereas Pep can, like, I look at him the other day. Who did they play the other day? And I was just like, I looked at not the Forest, weren't great, but they got the job done, and they know how to win games ugly and not be on their best form. So
that's true, mate. That's very true. Yeah, look, Gary on the list of managers to replace Moyes. Well, I think there's one point he was touted for Man U, wasn't he, as well?
And United, yeah.
I'd get Graham Potter if I were you. He would turn you a top 6 club with cup success.
I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. What about you, Tony? You feeling that or not?
I think Potter probably falling into his remit. I think Chelsea was a bad move.
Massive step.
It weren't a massive step. It was like Grand Canyon steps.
Yeah.
When you look at something like that, and the thing was, you look before he was sacked, he aged. I know. Space of 2 months until the end of that, when he finished that man aged.
Yeah.
He thought he brought his granddad with him or something. That's how bad he.
I'll be honest though.
That's what it does.
I'll be honest with you though, right? With Brighton and Potter, where they've got such a good infrastructure of like scouting, recruitment, and that's why I just don't think it'd work. Right? I think you're relying on that scouting to happen at West Ham. That Brighton have been doing that for years. Like that's their bread and butter. Like selling a player for 50, 60 million and having buying someone for 5 million in development. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you want a developing club, that's Brighton's your team. Like
but Southampton was the same as well, though. Southampton was the same when you think the money they made as well.
I think what it is with the Southampton one is they had a really good academy. They had one of the best academies in the country, and they was reeling off top players after top players all the time. And I think when you keep trying to do that, eventually you're going to come to a sort of brick wall where there's nothing else they can give you. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Nothing else is there. Nothing else.
I mean, not being funny, the man above you. If you look at their academy, and Klopp's not been afraid to play these youngsters in games, that's for me, it's great to see. It's a shame that we don't do that like we used to.
I think more clubs should do that because I think what it is, they will find out they've got hidden gems in their academy. Do you know what I mean? You know, and of course, some of these academy players they want to give it all. They want to give it all for the team. You know what I mean? Because they want to be first team players, so they're going to give you the all. Do you know what I'm saying? So,
but
do that.
But would Klopp have done that if he wasn't leaving? Like that's like because the thing is, I hear this quite a lot from West Ham fans. We should play the youth and all that, yeah. Because what it is, West Ham fans go back to the Academy of Football with Rio and Frank and Joe Cole, Glenn Johnson, and them players, yeah. It's okay playing the youth, but when you've got a manager who's you need results to do that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like throwing these players in. Yeah, and hoping for a result isn't the right move. Like some of these players need to go out on loan. Like some of them need to go out on loan.
You know what? Sorry to cut you. You know what? He would have done it regardless because remember at the day, you know, he got Trent Alexander that came from the academy.
Yeah,
meaning the right back at that time there.
Curtis Jones and all. Yeah.
Then you got Curtis Jones we brought in as a midfielder. So I think he would have done it. Would he have done it on a larger scale as he did? I don't know, but I think he would have done it. You know what I mean? I think he would have bought him like probably one or two, but circumstances dictated to us that we had to bring in a lot more. Do you know what I mean? Because at one time at the day, we had a full team out in injuries, full 11. Do you know what I mean? Out on injuries. Do you know what I mean? So you then had to look for the academy players to step up and come in and do something. Do you know what I mean? So I do think in some sort of way a hand got forced. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think he is that sort of manager, and they gives time for the youth to come through and flourish. Because that's a philosophy he lives by. Because he says that right, the difference between sort of like teams like us and Man City. We didn't actually call Man City name, but he knew what he was talking about. Is that how I was taught is that you develop a player to come into the first team and obviously to kick on. But some people in there have got a head start because what they're doing in there, they're spending a whole heap of money on a finished product. Instead of developing them, they're buying a finished product. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like a cheat code, sort of like. Do you know what I mean? You know?
Of course. I mean, what do you think about Steve's comment here? I mean, obviously, Paqueta, obviously, we know there's possibly the chance he's going to be moving on. Kudos, though, I think he's staying for another season, possibly.
Yeah.
I think he's alluded to that. But as I've jokingly said, Bowen, you got no chance because you got to get through Danny Dyer first before seeing that man being released.
Yeah, and his missus.
And his missus as well. Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Right, Paqueta is 100% going, mate. He's going. I think we all know as West Ham fans. I think his head's gone, and I think he will move. Would he go to City is a different question, though, right? Because I think City have sort of cottoned on to the 85 million release clause and thought, nah, this is a bit too much for him. Yeah, because as West Ham fans, I'm not deluded. He's not worth 85. Do you know what I mean? He's worth a bit less than that for me.
Yep.
Do you know what I'm saying? And I think City are cottoned on to that one. Kudus will stay. I think West Ham build around him next season.
Yeah.
Jared Bowen I don't think ever leaves West Ham. I think he actually wants to be the captain. I actually think he's the one who's going to take over from Mark Noble to be like Mr. West Ham.
Funny, you just hit on the head there for me. You just take the words out of my mouth.
Mark Noble, boy.
I mean, if you look at the Paqueta situation there, kind of thing, because he's come to us on loan. He's not exactly had the greatest career with us. But do you see the fact of the possibility that what City will say is we'll take Paqueta for X amount and we'll give you Calvin Phillips in the deal as well?
I don't think it's Calvin Phillips who they will chuck at us. I actually think it's Grealish, mate. If you want me to be honest.
Nice. I'll have that.
Do you know what? Like, I think Grealish is a more possibility, right? Because what it is, City don't want to pay the money for this geezer, mate. 80 million, right? Because if I've got this right, they can only spend a certain amount this summer. If I've got this right, I might be wrong, but
they're doing happy.
For me, I just don't see. I don't see them dropping 85 million in David Sullivan's pocket, even though he'd love it.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, just going back there. So Our lovely Happy Hammer, who's our mod here. So good evening to you. Hope you're keeping well. And he's saying Arteta's got winning the league this season. If not, he should go. Yeah, I know there's a lot of people saying that, but I think the owners would be saying it's been a disaster. My attitude stinks. There's an over celebrating couple. Yeah, that's a thing I can't stand from the Arsenal. Them players, the way they over celebrate on the game, and has had £750 million. Arteta spend nearly close to 800 million. Don't know if you want to try being on our shoes. I'd love to support a club like West Ham. This is torture for us Schooners. We have the stadium, the wealth, but no owners, managers, directors, players. The whole thing stinks. Does that sound familiar, James?
He wants to have David Sullivan as owner, mate.
So what do we have?
Yeah, it's true.
Mate, trust me.
Well, mate, David's doing a good job for you. Look. Yeah,
mate, we have breadcrumbs at our ground. You know what I mean? That's all we get. We don't even get a program. We get an old rag.
God, yeah.
You know,
do you imagine? I mean, would you see Arteta managing West Ham, James? Bloody hell, Uncle! Yeah. Would you see that?
Well, I don't know.
I thought Arsenal done a smooth move getting Arteta though. Like, don't get me wrong. I know he spent a lot of dough. Don't get me wrong. If he doesn't win the league this year, then you've got to look at it. He has failed this year, right? But he's up against a powerhouse team in City. Like City are a sort of side. They start slow and then towards the back end of the season, they're like a train. Like how many times have we seen it? They go win, and like just don't lose.
Yeah.
I think like that's the model I want West Ham to go down to a point with the Arteta thing. Like he hasn't got to be a name. He could be an up and coming coach. Like and Arsenal went down that route with him. Like so, you know, it's a bit. If he does get the sack, I'd love to know who they're going to get in.
Cool. This is the big question for him. I mean, a lot of them are saying, "Oh Jesus Christ, gone at me head."
I tell you, would be. I tell you, would be a good person for him. Is Almiron. If you want someone who's going to progress your club, bring the youth through, play a standard of football that is going to be exciting, Almiron would be the guy. Yeah. Well, it is. Almiron, I think Almiron knows that he's too big for West Ham.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? It's like, and I said it the other day, funny enough, on E20. I said, it's like having a Ferrari. Like, everyone thinks you're getting a Ferrari, and then you turn up at the house and it's a Fiat Punto. Like, it ain't going to happen, is it?
No, it's true. Yeah, even Happy Emirates saying the same thing as you, Jane. Look, you know, it's convinced Pack was going to City, but given his performances plus SFP, yeah, not too sure. Bone to Newcastle, nah. I think James is on the edge. He's going to be a West Ham legend and bow out like that way as well.
I think he. Would you say he's a legend now, Tone?
I wouldn't say he's now, but he's building the foundations quite strongly into that kind of mould of that, you know, what we class as that West Ham player, you know, who wears his heart on his sleeve.
Because I look at Di Canio. Di Canio was with us 4 years, 99 to 2003, isn't it? Yeah. And obviously Bowen's been here coming up roughly the same amount of time. Yeah. I think Jared scoring the goal in the final sort of automatically makes him have that status to a point. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I think with what he does on the pitch in this season, I think he's potential captain material. Right? People go, "Oh, don't give him the captaincy because it's going to ruin him." And I'm thinking, no, if anything, that's going to, because if you've got a standard at West Ham and you've got to match his standard.
That's right. Exactly that. Evening, Jess. JSA, Take Football Fan Channel, great channel as well. Pleased to see you on here. Hope you're keeping well, and hope you had a good watch along as well earlier in this evening. Jean-Louis Mark, Mr. K2, much love and respect. And for Uncle Rodz, panel and chat. It's been a hot minute. I pray all is well. You never walk alone, she's saying.
Lovely lady, this is. She used to have a Caribbean restaurant in Willesden. Do you know what I
mean?
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, she's a lovely lady, man. She's a lovely lady. Really lovely lady.
Well, at least we know who she is now. So go and hook her up on that. Go and taste some nice food. That's what we're looking at. But yeah, mate, I don't know. It's because the funny part about it, James, when you look at some of, when you talk to some of these Arsenal guys and you listen about their club and you look at our club.
Yeah.
Sometimes the similarities between the two is just unbelievable. You know, both moved into a new stadium.
Agree.
both kind of like not exactly kind of made it their own. Yeah, and both got weak benches at the moment. Both
I
need a
think
forward.
I think the stadium thing is an issue with West Ham. Not so much with Arsenal. I think Arsenal, because obviously Arsenal is that's their ground. Yeah, West Ham don't even have anything.
Only got this right, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like with Stratford. And I was talking to Jazz, who's well known like in the West Ham community. Yeah, I done a show with him the other week, and we were talking about the museum. There's no museum at West Ham. There used to be a museum at Upton Park back in the day. Yeah, there's no museum at Stratford now. That's gone. Like they sold everything off when obviously we left Upton Park. Now I remember them gates. I said it on E20. Like, remember the gates you used to walk through at Upton Park? Big like little gates with the sign and everything. They got rid of everything. Sold everything. Seats, gates, you name it. Like lock, stock, and barrel. Everything's out the door. And like honestly, West Ham change when the owner goes. I think if you go and get an ambitious owner, and you've only got to look at Aston Villa. I know it hasn't worked out from tonight. But they have spent. They have got to a standard. And for them to be where they are, they're not there through luck. They're there through ability and what they've done over the last sort of few months. West Ham need to be aiming for that, because otherwise, if West Ham don't, West Ham go back to being West Ham of mid-table.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah. Start getting a bit of string out for the yo-yo if we're not too careful. You know what I mean?
I agree on that. I think so.
Steve saying here, Villa got smacked tonight 4-2. But this is the one for me, obviously. Are Everton going bankrupt? Well, it's quite interesting, isn't it? Because you've got the fact that they could be docked to further points come next season, by all accounts. And then, of course, you've got the so-called potential new owners, 777. They've had one of their kind of subsidiaries that they own have gone bankrupt. I think one of the airlines have gone bankrupt, which now could scupper the deal for them actually buying Everton. So if that is the case,
they're fucked.
Literally.
What would happen there? They're going to administration, aren't they?
They're going to administration because, by all accounts, we were talking about the other night. It seems that they're actually going to. They were supposed to be moving into the stadium for next season, I think it is, or I think they put it back by another year.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So when you look at that kind of, I don't know, does that tell you something?
Well, what they're doing is they're trying to get time, aren't they? They're trying to buy time. Yeah, because obviously, like the move is like a major move, so to speak. I don't know, like with the Premier League as it is at the minute, this is where when people say about the money that's being spent, there has to be a bracket, mate. Like there has to be because what it is, City will always keep spending, and then you just don't want to get touch them. The only issue with Everton currently right now, which goes in their favour, is the teams that are coming up are just not powerful enough to challenge at the minute.
Exactly.
Maybe next season, that might be different. Obviously, Leicester will come back up. Ipswich, if Ipswich do the job on the weekend, they will be back up. And then you got one.
They need a point, you know. They only need a point, don't they?
Yeah, they're going to need a point of basically just not to lose the game, so to speak. And then you got Leeds, Southampton, West Brom, and there's someone else in there who's sort of lurking about in there. I can't remember who it is, but for me, at the minute, if Everton just do like a mid-table finishes, they're going to be fine. You know what I'm saying? But
I mean, Uncle must be. Yeah, I think. Well, yeah. I mean, like Steve's saying here, new stadium should be ready by 2025. I mean, Uncle, for Liverpool fans, it must be music to your ears hearing that kind of news that they could possibly be going under.
You know what? Every season they get lucky. You know, they get lucky and just sort of like beat the drop. I want them motherfuckers gone. God, I mean, rivalry. But then again, though, listen, at the end of the day, right? Not many people know. And back in the day, it was like there was only one club in Liverpool, and that was Everton. It was Everton. Back in the day, it's like the chairman, one of the chairmans of Everton, broke away and formed sort of like Liverpool. Basically, what it was, this guy in the day, he owned Anfield. Because Everton used to play at Anfield, back in the day. And he owned Anfield, and what he did, he put the rent up. Well, the Everton lot didn't like that, do you know what I mean? So they had a big argument, and then Everton broke away and went to another ground. So what it was, this guy in the day that had the ground, he figured, listen, I've got this big ground here. And I think, now, what do I do with it? And that's when he formed, in 1892, he formed Liverpool in 1892. And then obviously the rest is history. But at one time, it was just one club in Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? So to be fair, there's not really I can't say there's really on my part. I can't say there's really a rivalry as such. You know what I mean? 'Cause we were once them, but like it still be good to see him go down though.
Yeah.
It's still good to see him go down. You know what I mean? Ain't gonna lie.
If they've made the biggest progress this season, they will get top 4. Yeah, there's no two ways about that. Anthony's asking, Tony, what was your favourite West Ham season and why? I mean, obviously, you know, I was still a youngster by then. The 86 season with Cotty and McAvenny, we just missed out. You know, we finished 3rd. We won them 2 games. I think with some injuries, we would have won the league that year. But I think if you look at it, I think it was the season we got relegated when we had, you know, Carrick, Joe Cole, Johnson, Ferdinand, DeCanio, Sinclair.
I think 2006 was a good year. FA Cup final.
Yeah, that as well. That was a good season as well. I mean,
I still haven't got over that.
Right, yeah, I remember that one.
But you know what? When you look at it in the day, it was a great advert for English football. It was a great advert.
It's the best. It's the best FA Cup final ever for me. Like,
yeah.
Like, I remember that day clear as day. Yeah, like West Ham were massive underdogs in that game. Massive. Like, I mean, like Liverpool. If I remember rightly, they had the Champions League. They'd either just played the Champions League or they was going to play the Champions League. It was one of the two. It was in that year.
I think 2005, we won the Champions League. 2005
Yeah, because you done it back to back, didn't you?
No. We didn't. We won the Champions League 2005, and then the next season, and then we went in it. We got in it. We got beaten by Benfica in the knockout stages. Do you know what I mean? When
did you lose to Milan again? Because it was Milan.
2007.
Ah, right, a year later.
Yeah, because it's that year. Then we got all the way to final 2007, and they beat us 2-1.
Yeah. Like 2006 for me was a really good like especially the FA Cup run and like all the players that were coming through. Because what it was, West Ham had just come up from the Championship, and no one expected us to do a lot. And then we had like people like Ben Ayoun and
man, I remember that.
Rio Coker, Harewood. What makes me laugh, Tone, we had 4-5 strikers back there. We ain't got one there.
I know exactly. That's
ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, that is the truth of it. That's
true. We had Zamora, Harewood.
Yeah.
Who was the other one? There was someone.
Ashton.
Yeah,
I mean,
he was playing well at that time, wasn't he? He was playing well.
I mean, Lucas says, 2007 was when West Ham beat us twice for Zamora. That's the Arsenal. They're beating them then. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Big up, Luke. Are you doing well? He's just saying, hey guys, you're okay? Yeah, we're not too bad at all. Long time, absolutely. It has been a long time. Are you free keeping in the chat? I'm keeping well. It's good to hear. Tony, Uncle Rodz told me you cried for a week when Julian Dix joined Liverpool FC. I did, mate. It was a sad day. But, you know, like I said, he did come back to us. So all's forgiven, basically.
When was he better? The first time, Tony, or the second time for you?
For Tony.
I'll say probably the first time, not being funny, because I think if you look at it, you know, it was the fact you got more of the raw player. You know, there's more of that kind of aggression. Don't say he didn't lose it. Don't get me wrong. I think if you look at it, that Liverpool thing wasn't a bad thing for him, because I think he actually kind of learnt something from that. But it's that raw talent we got first of all, that aggression that went in for challenges. I was saying earlier on when I was at West Ham, and you know, this is when he just come back from having these ACL injury. And he was put in with the under 15s, and of course they said, like, you know, just take your time, don't do anything stupid, you know, you got to keep an eye on that. And also he goes, and the other thing was, don't forget you're playing with kids. Yeah, no problems at all. First challenge he has, kids 360 up in the air, you know, it's like, yeah, he's back, he's back. You know, it's a youngster, but it's ingrained in the system.
Yeah. I remember that season, 95, 96, like, because that was it 94, 95. Yeah, no, it was 95, 96. We stopped hanging on, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That final season.
I mean, this is. I remember this one as well. Yossi Ben. Yeah, you got with Yossi of us. I never forget my old job. Basically, one of our branches was up at Sunderland, and the warehouse manager was a steward at the Stadium of Light. And he said, "Come out and see us." Then he goes, "I'll get you in for the game through the back door." Yeah, no problem at all. But he goes, "You're gonna have to sit in with the Sunderland fans." All right, yeah, fair enough, no problems at all. Of course, they've scored first. Yeah, and it's like looking around, and of course, the second half comes out. Ben Yoon receives a ball in our half, runs all the way down the side of the pitch, cuts in, and that bangs 1-1.
Yeah.
Of course, you forget yourself, don't you? So I shout out, straight out of my chair, yeah, and I suddenly thought, fuck, bastard, how'd you fucking let him run through there? Kind of figure that, and just sat back in the chair up for the fucking best, But that was a good place for entertainment, for an evening time going afterwards. That wasn't too bad up there. I like him. Yeah, he was a good player. Was Dick's a better left back than a penalty taker, or the other way round?
Ooh, penalty taker, mate, for me. That geezer, I remember a game against Spurs, I think it was. I'll never forget, it was on Sky. I think it was on Monday Night Football. That was when Sky was sort of starting to kick into gear. Like, used to have it, it was all rebranded and everything. And I think we won the game. We either won the game 3-2 or 4-3. It was one of the two. It was a mental game. And he scored the penalty. He scored the penalty in the game that, I think, won us the game. And, his penalties were, he's one of my heroes, Julian Dix. Like, growing up, when I was, I must have been 10 at the time. Yeah. When in 95, 96, I remember Alvin Martin. I went to his testimonial, and then obviously Julian Dix was there with obviously Monk, Ian Bishop, Michael Hughes, people like that who are and then you sort of go through the years. One player who never gets mentioned in the West Ham world ever, but he was a very, very talented player, is Isle Bergovich.
Yeah. Do you remember him? Bloody hell, man.
Never gets mentioned, mate. People say about Payet, people say about obviously Yossi, but Berkovich was a really good player. It was a nightmare when he played against us, when he played for Southampton.
Yeah.
But when we signed him, he was a good player.
Good player. I mean, the only other one I'd say was a great penalty taker, and that was old Tonka.
Yeah.
Because he used to smash him in the back of the net. So always like that. Big up to Dave, old school gunner. How you doing, Dave? Good to see you as well. All right, lads, you saying? Yes, old school. They're saying, Steve saying Nunes to West Ham to replace Antonio.
Oh.
Yeah, you can have him, mate. I tell you.
Well, we was trying to sign him.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Yeah,
it was one of them phantom bids that we keep hearing about all the time.
That's it. Yeah, like you said about Sky, David saying, pre-woke Sky. Yeah, true, mate. Very true. Yeah, when there was back at the novice times.
Do you know what? I used to love the game back then. I mean, love it. Like, so many times on night when you used to watch. I remember Arsenal, Liverpool games, like the 4-4s with Arsenal and all that. And there was games before when obviously Man United, Liverpool. When you was young, you just used to watch everything.
Yeah.
Now it's so sort of deflated. Like, do you know what I mean? You watch a game and amount of decisions that we've had this year, probably every other club. Like Wolves have had some really, really bad decisions this year.
Yeah.
And it ain't the same, mate. It feels
it was one of the questions I asked him quite early on, and he said exactly virtually the same thing. How teams are virtually playing exactly the same way. It's becoming boring in that respect.
It's like robotic, isn't it? It's like you just know exactly what. Let's look at the Aguero goal, the famous Aguero goal that won them the league. Yeah, imagine if that goes in and there's a VAR call for a potential something. Do you know what I mean? It kills the. What I feel is they're trying to take the passion out of the game.
Yeah,
that's what it is. They're trying to take the emotion out of it.
Of course it is.
A goal goes in, when a goal goes in, automatically your heart and mind just goes into overdrive.
You just go mad, don't you? You just go mad.
Yeah. And there's been two decisions this year. There's two decisions off the top of my head. One that's gone for us, and one was gone against us. Like the Aston Villa game at home, where we got done in the last minute, literally 5.5 minutes. it took for them to do a VAR
Make that
decision.
Yeah.
And someone said to me, Ronnie O'Sullivan had done a 147 in that time. It takes them 5.5 minutes to do it. Do you know what I'm saying? And then obviously the other week the other week we get away with it at Wolves. Like we're 2-1 up, like 97th minute, right? And they class it as offside. When is he interfering? Like it's like debatable to a point. And then it's just how it is, isn't it?
Cool. Well, the most obvious one we were saying earlier with Uncle, sorry to cut you as well, was the Man United Coventry game.
Yeah.
You know,
there you go.
They can draw the lines anywhere, mate. They can draw the lines anywhere, mate, and say, yeah, it's offside if they want the other team to win. Because if you look at that, right, Wan-Bissaka was playing him on. How can that be offside if he's playing him on?
And what it is, it's common sense in certain aspects. Like, it was the game the other week. I think it was the Chelsea Man United game, right, where there was a penalty. Yeah, it was never a pen, like never, like. But it's like they've given it a pen because that's what they're told to sort of do. Like years ago, there was common sense in the game. Like, is that handball? Is that deliberate? Is that not? It just seems like now everything's done by the book, and you just can't do sport like that. You got to go with the.
It's a flow, isn't it? It's a flow,
What's happening in the moment? Do you know what I'm saying? So,
well, it's like when Arsenal played Liverpool, isn't it? I think you were just saying there. You know, Odegaard's playing basketball with it. Nothing.
Yeah. Nothing. So why couldn't VAR? Sorry to cut across. Why couldn't VAR and they be able to do the job then? Do you know what I mean? It's only able to do the job whenever they want to, whenever it's like for in their best interest. Because what I'm saying, if you look back at certain games at the day, they can draw the lines any way they want to draw the line in there. They can draw the line and say that's offside when it's not an offside. Do you know what I mean?
Even so much as the game the other day, Arsenal Tottenham, right? I'm watching the game live like everyone else, right? Declan does a mistake and kicks him up in the air, right? The referee is, if he's 10 yards away, that's too far. Yeah, he's blatantly in front of the action. He can see what happens, and he says nothing. And I think to myself, well, what are you seeing there? Like, what are you scared to make a decision in case you're wrong, or are you waiting for the decision to be made for you? That's, do you get what I'm saying? Like,
that's the thing, isn't it?
All right, so check this now, right? Yeah. In the dying seconds at the day of the game against Man City, right? We play Man City at Anfield, right? Docker raises his foot, does him in his bird's nest. Yeah. You know what I mean? See, he does it.
Yeah.
Right? The referee, and then obviously at the day, McAllister goes over. Referee at the day says, "Nah, no penalty, no penalty, no penalty." Well, then when you look at the position of the referee, he couldn't even see it because he was facing the back of McAllister, so he couldn't even see. He couldn't see nothing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How can you say at the day that it's definitely not a penalty? What he should have said is at the day, well, I didn't really see it. And the day, right? VAR, can you help me out here? Can you help me out? And you know what I mean? Because obviously you got a different angle. Can you help me out? And then he goes over to the monitor and he looks and he can say, well, like, that's a penalty straight away. But then you can say it in the day that it wasn't a penalty if he's looking at the sort of like at the back of him. He's facing at the back of McAllister, and he cannot see what sort of like what my man's doing. He can't see what Docker's doing. He couldn't see it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But yet, and then he said straight away, no penalty, no penalty, no penalty for me, no penalty for me. Right?
Yeah.
And what he should have said, what he should have done is gone to the VR for help. You know what I mean? That's what the VR is there for, to see angles that you can't see.
Well, not being funny, look at the game today, yeah? Look at the game where the possible penalty decision. The offside decision for the goal that Chalobah scored.
Right.
First of all, they're looking for offside. Yeah, so you got one player facing away from the ball. Yeah, so you can't say he's not interfering with play because his back's turned to the goal. And then once they realise, oh shit, no, he's onside. Then suddenly it's a case of we're looking for a possible foul now. Hold on. In the space of seconds, what? Huh?
you only got to go back to last season time when we played Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, like in that game where the referee made it all about him in the end, and obviously Maxwell Cornet scored, and he got disallowed, like because Bowen jumped over I think it was Mendy at the time, jumped over him to avoid getting flattered.
Yeah.
His foot literally grazes the top of his shoulder, not even paper thin. And then the VAR getting
That's
goal,
right.
pull it back,
That's
and
right.
it's no goal. And that goal would have springboarded West Ham on, because West Ham actually played all right in that game. I remember that game. We went 1-0 up, 2-1 down. We was pushing at the end, and then we get the goal, and then the referee says, "No, you ain't having it."
That's right. I remember that. Yeah. It was literally just a little clip on his shoulder, wasn't it? Nothing.
Yeah.
You know that Trevor Childbirth thing you just explained to me, yeah? You know, you could put it down to like the old Bill turning to your house, they want to search your house, but they ain't got a warrant. Do you know what I mean?
It's true.
It's like one of them ones.
It's true.
Shut the door.
Yeah. And I'm saying it's horrible. Mr. 4-4-2 midfield versus midfield, left back versus right winger, centre back versus striker. It's all gone. Now ball gets passed from midfield to the wing and the crowd. And that's the thing, isn't it? It's too commonplace. And he's saying about the Coventry goal was a scandal to get ruled out. Reverse that and the goal would have been allowed. True.
Exactly.
And our fans think Havertz is on par with Dennis Bergkamp. Jesus Christ, if that's the case.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Feed the rules of the game into an AI computer and let it control. Yeah. But this is the thing, isn't it? I mean, VAR for me, it's a system that works. It works in other sports. The only problem we've got is this shit officials. I mean, I was saying on my show on Sunday, it's the fact that suddenly you got, yesterday, when you got Harold Webb suddenly saying that penalty should have stood for Forest against Everton. And it's like, hold on. This could make them go down now. Yeah. And you're now coming out with this now. I think that, they really, when you hear comments like that,
it's too easy. Like, what it is, it's too easy for these refs to be wrong. I.e., like, it's so easy for them to go, yeah, we made a mistake, we move on, when nothing changes. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I understand they've got a set of rules that they've got in place, but sometimes you've just got to go with the emotion of the game. Like there was a game, I can't remember what game it was, but there was like I think it was a Bayer Leverkusen game, if I remember rightly, when we played that. The referee just allowed us to get on with it. Like, people were going in and everything, and that was obviously a European referee, and he was allowing us to get stuck in and all that. And I just think you just got to go with you've got to know the levels of aggression. Do you know what I mean?
No,
Obviously,
exactly.
If something's out of control or something's going to hurt someone, then it's definitely a red card. But like some of the decisions I've seen this year, like especially with West Ham, right, have been borderline scandalous. Like I name another one: Burnley at home, like 90th minute, we're 2-2, piss in the rain. Their defensive midfielder goes up for an header. He misses the header. The ball comes down, lands in his hands. Like, and they don't give a penny. They don't give a penny for it. It's like it was just like, it's just mad. Then the other week, then a week later, you'll see something in another club. It will graze his arm on the top of his arm because his arm's there, and then it'll be a penalty. There's no consistency. That's
the thing. And then, not being funny, what Uncle said earlier, when you look at the lines this season, do you realise that beginning and halfway through, they didn't put any lines on the screen?
No.
And then suddenly out of nowhere, after the backlash, then they started putting them back in again.
I thought that when they done the offsides at the World Cup, like that sort of way they done it, I can't remember how they done it, but it was like, it wasn't with lines, it was with actually like sort of digital, where they was sort of reading where the player was, a bit like how it is in tennis. Sort of thing, like that sort of. Yeah. So like getting the zones right and where the player is and his arms and everything. Obviously, I know it's key offsides and all that, but like even if, for instance, when a player goes through and the referee, like the linesman puts his flag up, the player don't know whether to put it in the back of the net or not, right? And if he don't put it in the back of the net and he turns around, the referee gives him a yellow card, wasting time. So
I know exactly. You can't win, can you? That's it. This is it. I mean,
Mad.
Steve's saying here, since Howard Webb returned back into our game, everything has turned into a train crash. How true is that?
True.
And good evening to Jez, Arsenal history and more. Support the club and the badge, 100%, mate. Hope you're keeping well. Thanks for coming in. But you're right there, yeah. Support the club, support and the badge. We got, and that's the. I mean, I know Jez has alluded to it a few times. I mean, I think it happened on the weekend where fans leave 10 minutes before the game's finished. I know sometimes it's getting out of the stadium and so forth, but you support the club through thick and thin. I mean, James, we've been there many a time, relegation zones. We still have a full house, regardless. Apart from obviously when Arsenal slapped us 4-0 at half time, we all cleared off.
But I don't blame anyone who walks out of a ground when the team's getting absolutely obliterated. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think the worst case is when you walk out of a ground and the game's still active. Like you either winning the game, or you're trying to get back into the game, so to speak. Like if you're 4-0 down after half hour, like Crystal Palace the other week, it wouldn't. I don't blame anyone who walks out of the ground and says, you know what, I'm going for a pint and something to eat, and I'm going to try and head back towards my house. Do you know what I'm saying? Because
true.
It's true. Like, it's, you know what I mean? And I said it on E20. Funny enough, I said I respect the fans who stayed there. Now, one of the lads who's on E20 with me, Lucas, was there.
Oh yeah. Oh, he was there, was he?
Okay. He stayed there all the way to the end. Right? He said to me, you know what? The only thing that we done all day was sing "Boom Boom Boom" from Finger Boys because that kept fucking going on. It's scored. Do you know what I mean? Every time they scored, the Finger Boys tune was coming on, and like Lucas said to me, he said, "Listen, I don't ever want to hear that fucking tune again." Do you know what I mean? But I don't blame anyone for walking out, mate.
Nah,
honestly, I really don't.
Yeah, I get
but obviously, 10 minutes in a big game, if the game's in the balance, I think it's a bit strange.
Extreme, innit? I mean, Uncle, looking at Liverpool, I mean, do they, have you seen the fans doing that, walking out early before games even finished?
They have done it once or twice, not on a regular basis, but I have seen it. And then you had the situation today with the when the tickets prices went up, and we played at Atalanta couple of weeks ago, Anfield, and there was just no atmosphere and that was their protest. I was obviously the ticket price and that, but they have been known to walk out and when they see their team not playing well and getting beaten and stuff. It has happened. Probably not really under the sort of like Jurgen Klopp era. You probably have to go back to sort of like Rodgers, Roy Hodgson. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, but they were fucking piss poor them two managers anyway. You know what I mean? But like it has happened, and unfortunately today it's a situation that happens across all the teams that know the Premiership. It happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't believe in it. I think at the end of the day, you bought your ticket, you pay for your travel, you know what I mean, and stuff. Stay to the end, innit?
I think
stay to the end, is it really? You know what I mean?
I'm more of a person that would rather stay there to the end.
Yeah.
Wait for everyone to clear out and then leave. Everyone's cleared out, sort of thing, rather than leave early. Do you know what I mean? The other way.
Yeah, people do that because of the rush and all that. People just like, because I do stewarding at the moment, and that right down the Luton Town Football Club. I do it down there, and you find out you got a big handful of people in there that will stay right until the end of the day.
Yeah.
And then when everybody goes and it's all right, yeah, we're going. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. You know, so it does happen. But you know what? Listen, the day, right? You can't win them all. And law of averages in the day that you're going to get tanked by some teams.
Someone, yeah. Well, there's a comment. Jez is coming. I'm going to get to that first, Wayne, but this is quite relevant. Forest and Wolves have been shafted the most by corrupt officials using VAR this season, which is true, I think, in that respect. Yeah. Big ups, Chris, Meta Football TV. Big up, lads. Hope you're all well. We are indeed, mate. Hope you are as well. Thanks for coming on. Who is reaching the Champions League final, lads?
Dortmund won yesterday, didn't they?
Yeah, old Sancho, isn't it?
Yeah, Dortmund winning it. Dortmund won, didn't he?
Sancho masterclass. So yeah, he's put him in there.
I'm gonna say I think Real Madrid will spin it around at home. I think they're like I think they will win it. Dennis, toss of a coin with the other mob. You know what I mean? Who is it? Dortmund and PSG, is it?
Yeah, I think it's a Real Madrid and Dortmund final.
I think PSG at home. What's the score in that game? Is it 1-0? Is it?
Yeah, 1-0 because they
1-0. Yeah, Sancho. Yeah, 1-0.
Yeah. So, if PSG get going earlier in that game, it's game on for them. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With Mbappe, anything's possible. So,
Yeah, as I just said here, August 2011, Old Trafford losing 8-2 to United. He stayed till the end. And gave the team serious abuse because,
see, the thing is, I remember a game in COVID, where that was like, that should be a learning thing for everyone. Because when West Ham played Spurs, we was 3-0 down after 16 minutes. I can guarantee everyone would have walked out. That comeback. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I'll never forget them moments and think to myself, them comebacks. Do you know what I'm saying? And there's been so many times this year with West Ham. I use West Ham as an example. Burnley away, 87th minute, we're 1-0 down, we spin it around. Forest, another one. Even there's a game, I can't remember who it was. It was recent that we sort of spun the game around where we was losing. But you should never walk out. Never.
No, exactly. Well, yeah. I mean, but I remember this game, this 8-2 game. I mean, blimey, they were well and truly stuffed in that one.
That what's his name? Centre half there, Stefanovs. Stefanovs is it?
Yeah.
That was the game that made him.
Yeah, absolutely. Only time Rod walks out a lot is from his local takeaway.
Strong in it, fella. Steady on. You know what I
mean? You can't beat good food.
No, exactly. Abdul Haib, good evening. Hi, everyone. How are you all doing? Yeah, I think we're doing away. Question for Uncle Rodz. What do you think about this FSG, Michael Edwards, Richard Hughes, Arnie Slot regime this season? Like, comment, subscribe, share, thanks.
I would tell you, not too much, my friend. Not too much. I think, no disrespect to Matthew in the day, but I just think it's a weak sort of like setup, really. Do you know what I mean? And I think Michael Edwards has got him in at the day because he can control them. You know what I mean? FSG is controlling Michael Edwards, and Michael Edwards can control Richard Hughes at the day. And then Arnie, you got Arnie and Dave, which is like, number one, he hasn't got the experience. For me, he hasn't got the experience to take on a big club like Liverpool. And two, at the day, he's a bit of a yes sir, man. So listen, I want to be proved wrong.
Stephanos, yeah,
I want to be proved wrong and everything that. So, but for me, at the day, not really feeling it, to be honest.
Will Harry Kane win a major trophy in his career? Ooh, good question. Depends. Who's the manager going to come into Bayern next season?
They're talking about sort of like they're talking about one of their managers coming back. A certain manager coming back. They was talking about, but I don't know. Does Tuchel say? Does Tuchel say
he's gone
another year?
He's going to be going. Hand out the manager in a big defeat and underperformance. Another question for you. Which area do you think Liverpool need to strengthen and Deadwood need to get rid in the summer to win and challenge for the EPL, UCL, FA and EFL Cup?
They need to strengthen up their defence. Get rid of players like, well, two players I've got in mind they should probably should look to get rid of is Nunes and Diaz. I just don't think they're killers. They lack the killing instinct, and we need killer. If you want to challenge for all these trophies here, you need players that know killer instinct. Do you know what I mean? If Salah doesn't fix up the attitude, you can go as well. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's just. I would say the main part I would look at first would be defense, and then obviously you can look at other things after.
Big up, Lawrence. Thanks for coming back in, mate.
Nice one, Lawrence. I'll pay you later.
Yeah. Another question for me from Abdul. What do you think will happen to Liverpool FC this season? Second or third? Third.
Well, this season, yeah?
This season.
We're going to finish third.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No top manager wants to join Bayern. Yeah, make it right on that. Bayern don't know yet. Nothing confirmed. As Ragnick was expected to sign, but pledged allegiance to Austria. Ragnick.
Oh yeah, I was looking at Randy as well, weren't they? Yeah.
Ooh.
I heard that today actually.
They're all saying hello to each other on that.
Who do you think we're going to get, Tone?
Well, manager what?
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
But let me put it this way: who would you want, and who would you say? You know what? I'd like to have him. And who do you reckon we're going to get?
The one I've always said for me, I like is Thomas Frank, Brentford manager. I like him because of the fact of he seems to know his stuff. He talks a game.
Yeah.
And I think the one thing I like about him is the fact that he has that kind of bond with the fans as well. You know, that community kind of side of things. I think I like, and I like his style of football as well. I mean, when you think he's not exactly got a massive budget and what he's done there, but I think it'll probably be a good fit for us. But who are we actually going to get? Goes back to that kind of Harrods and Little kind of situation, isn't it? What you want to what you're going to get.
Shopping at Harrods and end up with
Right. Not Littles, Littles is all right, man. Don't knock Littles.
Pound shop.
Man.
Do you know what? Thomas Frank wouldn't be a bad shout, Like, if you want to sort of a manager that needs to go step up from the club he's currently at, and he has done a good job at Brentford. I've got a mate who's a Brentford fan, and he stabilised Brentford from a club coming up from the Championship, and being a pretty solid club in the Premier League. The only issue with Brentford that I think could be a problem is how do they replace Tony next year? Because Tony's the man who scores the goals for them. You take him out. Are they sort of will they have enough to stay up? Now I think they, with the money that they're going to get from them, I think they will do. But it's like losing Harry Kane for Spurs, isn't it? It's just not that same.
Yeah.
Same thing.
No, exactly that. Gomez wants to return back to London this summer. Who will he sign for?
Oh, depends, isn't it? Probably West Ham.
Yeah. Gomez who? Who's that?
Is it your Gomez, uncle? I think he's gone.
Don't know who Gomez is.
Trying to think name myself. Gomez. Hopefully he'll come back. We'll ask him that one. To say like each other's there. Bayern should resign Flick because he was talk to us as well, wasn't he, Hansi Flick?
That's an ambitious appointment for me. That's the one appointment that West Ham do need to make. For me personally, is someone who's going to galvanise the whole fan base. Yeah. I think you need to have someone who, if Moyes is not your guy, if the next manager coming in has to be someone who gets everyone talking and saying, "Oh, look at this geezer." I honestly think, and I've said it quite a lot on E20. Yeah, I think it's Lopetegui. I think it's written in the stars that he's going to be there. If it is him, then I do fear the worst. Being honest, I'm not even going to lie, because like people will say, "Well, you got to give him a chance. He's the manager and everything." And 100% I back him, claret and blue, everything. But it just shows lack of ambition for me. It really does. It's like we've had a good moment, and we're going to go back to being how we was before, which we don't want to be.
Not being funny, if you look how he was with Wolves, and considering what he said about them, it doesn't bode well. I mean, Frank is great, but will his next potential club give him what he's got or had at Brentford? Well, if you look at it, Chris, I think if he comes to us, if he does, then he's got a chance to actually get more than what he got at Brentford. There's more chance.
He'll have it there anyway, wouldn't he? He'll have a good team there, really, when you think about it. He still have the likes of like Kudos, do you know what I mean? Bowen, do you know what I mean? All them, man. He's still Alvarez. He's still relatively have a good team there, wouldn't he?
I do like. I think the next manager also has to integrate with the fans. What you just said there about Frank is the right move, really. Like, also, what does Thomas Frank really want to do? Like, because he's been managing Brentford for a good few years now. He's the one who got him up, and obviously the Danish connection in there. But eventually, you're going to have to look at this and go, can I go somewhere else and sort of better myself in a long term?
Yeah,
is he going to do that at Brentford? I don't think he is.
No, I think he's levels there, isn't it? If you want to progress, you need to move on.
Yeah.
They're just saying like travel. Jump on now, Lawrence. Appreciate the comment. Do you think Liverpool challenge Arsenal and Man City in the next 3 years with FSG? Michael Edwards, Richard Hughes, current potential. Don't know about that one.
Yeah, I don't know about that one either.
Yeah,
Top-
interesting. Mate.
Top 4 for Liverpool.
Yeah.
Liverpool with Slot, people think that Liverpool might fold a little bit from next season onwards. I don't believe so. I think Slot's a very, very good manager. He knows his stuff.
You know what it is, fella? I think he's a good manager, but I just think at the leap from Feyenoord to Liverpool is too big. I mean, I forget the geezer. I've got nothing against him, but then you've got to look at the leap. Do you know what I mean? And you look at leap and you look at his resume. That's what I'm saying. So like, Amran at the day would have been like the perfect sort of like fit. If you look at Amran's resume, you know what I mean? You'd have said, right, now this is the natural progression. He's hardly done anything in sort of like in Holland. Do you know what I mean? And Holland is not really that sort of like Eredivisie is not really that sort of like, you know, powerhouse of a league. You know what I mean? You know?
He got if I got this right, he got final to a final. I swear he got him to a final a few years ago.
Yeah, he got to the
conference final.
Yeah, he got beaten by Mourinho, didn't he?
Yeah, right. So I think he's a good manager, mate. I really do. I think obviously the first season is going to be transition for Liverpool, 100%. I think Liverpool fans know that. They know what's coming. Like if Liverpool are challenging next season, then you've got a gem on your hands. But I think the first season is to sort of integrate him into the side, and then the second season is another one where you hit it with his own players. But if Liverpool have known about Klopp for a while, like obviously, like that's been sort of mentioned for a little while, especially in the Liverpool community, and honestly, they've done their work on this geezer. Like Slot is he's a no-nonsense manager, and Liverpool haven't got crap players. It ain't like he's going into a club where he needs to do a major rebuild. He goes and adds 4 or 5 players of quality to Liverpool's side. Liverpool will still be strong. The difference is how many players Liverpool are going to be losing. That's.
But if you know what, do you know what it is? That we need to look up sort of like Liverpool doing their due diligence on this fella. They only went to him because he's cheaper. He's cheaper. That's the only reason he's cheaper. Do you know what I mean? Had he have demanded the same money at the end of the day of what Amram was demanding, or even 2 million less than Amram was demanding, trust me, my friend, they will not have got this guy. It's because he's cheaper and transfer. You know what I mean? And like, don't get me wrong, he's more likely a good manager in his own right. But there's gaps at the end of the day, you know, there's gaps at the end of the day that you leap from. And he's leaping from a massive gap. You see, what it is at the day, with Amran and Day, it's a risk. It's risk, but a minimum risk. Yeah, right? But with this guy here, it's too much of a bigger risk. They're taking a bigger risk with this guy. Because at the end of the day, if he comes in at the end of the day, sort of like, he comes in, he doesn't work out. As I said in the day, right? Liverpool being the club that what they are at the end of the day, right? Amron and Arnie will still get a job somewhere. You know what I mean? Because it'll be like, you know, he went to his club, he tried it, didn't work, but you know what? It's Liverpool. You know?
If you don't want him, we're having.
You know what it is? Do you know what it is at the day, right? You know what it is? I feel sorry for him in a sort of way because he's been thrust into something at the day that is really big. You know what I mean? Because when you think about it in the day, right? That's what I'm saying that day. With Thomas Frank, will be good for West Ham because he's got the Premiership experience. Although obviously there's other good things like he adheres to the fans and so forth. But when you look at the big massive point in the day, right, is that he has got Premiership experience. He's been with Brentford for 3 seasons and he's done well. He's got that experience, so he could take that experience at the day and go to West Ham with it. With probably at the day better players, probably better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so he's actually going to do well. But when you're talking about a guy at the day that's sort of like, you know, that's what will be with the Exit Ahmed, Akmar, yeah, he's with them at the day, and anyway, and then he's with Feyenoord at the day. Feyenoord at the day don't speak to you like Ajax speaks to you. Feyenoord don't speak to you like PSV Eindhoven speaks to you. Do you understand what I'm getting at? Right?
Different level. That's for sure.
And now what you're doing at the day, you're jumping from that different level to this big level. Do you know what I mean?
That's true.
You know, so that's what it is. I just thinking that it's too much a bigger leap. Do you know what I mean? I think I would rather have somebody in there to follow Klopp with a bit more experience.
So what is your expectation for next year then?
Fuck those, man. I couldn't tell you, brother.
It's true. It's true.
All right. Let's make this easier. What's the minimum that it has to be? Like what is sort of acceptable for you next season? It has to be Champions League, surely.
Yeah, like, Champions League. I would say minimum expectancy will be 3rd place.
So top 3, yeah.
Yeah, there's expectations.
That's minimum expectancy.
Yeah.
What do you think about this one, James? Thought on Steele's getting released from his club. Like the guy, but we need a bigger manager.
Well, I'll be being a hypocrite if I did about it. For me, that's the sort of manager that you need to go for, younger manager, and build over the next 5 years.
Yeah.
If Will Steele is the guy, the only issue I have with Will Steele, I like Will Steele. I like the way his journey, his story, everything. The issue is, if he wasn't a West Ham fan, would West Ham fans really want him? Really?
Yeah.
Like, I think like they get a bit, us as West Ham fans, right? We get caught up on the emotional attachment of people. Like, you know, it just happens.
It's true.
Like every time a player retires, we think, oh, we're making him our manager. Like people have mentioned about Mark Noble being a manager. I don't want Mark Noble anywhere near being a manager. It just really sort of
leave his stats alone.
Yeah. I think you go down that route, then you end up making a legend into a villain, and I don't want that.
That's true.
Do you know what? As long as they know what they're doing, like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, if Will Still is the guy, and he's the one who says, right, he's the man to come in, and you're going to build over him, yeah, then I'm all for that. I just don't believe that you don't go and get rid of a 61-year-old and then bring in a 57-year-old who plays a similar style in Lopetegui.
True. That's true.
It just doesn't. That to me is like a short-term vision. Like you're not seeing the long-term benefits of it. Do you know what I mean? West Ham should be playing for the next 5 years, and they can't even plan for the next 5 weeks. 5 years.
Evening, Frank Moyes. He's saying what's up, and he also says remembers E20 from the old days.
Old day days, yeah.
Old day days, yeah.
Yeah.
Abdul's saying, who do you think will win the Championship playoffs? Leeds, Norwich, Southampton, or West Brom?
Oh, that's a good question. I think if Leeds don't get in there, Leeds might crack, because Leeds have been pushing all the way, been trying their hardest to go up automatically, and they sodded it up the other week, if I remember rightly. They lost. I think they lost the game. Was it, or they drew a game or something?
Yeah, I think they lost. I think they lost by. I think it was it 4?
Yeah, they lost quite badly, innit? They lost quite badly.
I can't remember who they lost to, but they got hammered. It wouldn't surprise me.
Was it Blackburn?
I think it was. Yeah, they lost against Blackburn at home. Yeah,
Blackburn.
They lost against them. They lost against someone else. They got. I think it was Hull. I think if I remember. I can't remember. I'll have to have a look. But for me, out of the 4, Southampton wouldn't be a bad shout.
That's the one I'm thinking of, because I mean Norwich are there.
Yeah,
they're about, but I think it'd be more Southampton. I mean, look at West Brom. I think they lost that last season, didn't they?
Yeah.
Was it them? Or just
yeah.
So yeah.
But I think Leeds have got the better side. Don't get me wrong. Right, when you look at the sides on paper, Leeds have got the better. Like, they're the better outfit. But I'm going to be honest. Southampton, I think they've rested a few players over the last few weeks and sort of built up for the playoffs. I think they knew the other week that there was no point continuing like trying to challenge. And that comment there, I definitely wouldn't have think that. I just see it. I went mid-sentence. No,
my drink's just curdled, James. Just just watch it, reading that comment.
Not a chance, mate.
Chris is saying, fair enough, I don't know much about West Ham to compare with you guys with Brentford, but if he gets more, then it will make definite sense. Yeah, he will. I mean, the main thing is, I think the pleasing thing for us is Steadtine, and that, because we know if he gets on that Learjet and that he's bringing someone back with him. Normally, he brings back quite a good quality.
Yeah.
Big up AFC always. You're doing Tony and the panel. Big up. And Stepsy as well. Big up Tony and panel. Yeah, Stepsy, we got you in. We got Chelsea this weekend, and we got Luton afterwards. So that's going to be an interesting game.
Yeah.
Who's Liverpool got the weekend?
Spurs on Sunday.
Ooh.
Yeah,
that's all right. That's right, they played on it. He'd be fine.
Yeah, Europa versus Roma got some tasty players, but this year they sold Kukul to Benfica and the playmaking and suffered a bit. Yeah, it's true. Steve saying here, only going from a poor league to a powerhouse of a league. It's like Uncle Rod's going from a tractor to a Ferrari.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you think about VAR? Good or bad? Human errors, never play the game, bias, corruption, cost, and slowing the game down. Human error.
Bias,
Simple as that.
Bias and corruption. I'll go for that one.
I think with the VAR, I think it's more. It's just common sense. That's all it is. It's just common sense. Like things should be common sense and easy to read. Like I have on E20. I don't know if you've seen Tone, but there's a geezer who comes on E20 who's an ex-referee. And Keith. Yeah. Really nice geezer. I've known him for a while. He comes on. He says the standard of refereeing is probably the worst he's ever seen. Like he used to be a ref back in the day, and he said to me, he said, it's just basic errors. It's like they're shit scared to make a decision in case they get it wrong. Yeah. So what they do, they make no decision, and then they can't be played for nothing. Sort of thing. So
the one for me was obviously when we played Newcastle with Anthony Gordon and Phillips.
Yeah,
the fact that the referee made the decision that he weren't a pen because of the way he saw it, yet he let VAR over all the situation. Of course, Gordon knew what he had done. He sold him down the river on that one. We know the score of that upon that there. Question for Uncle again: which right-sided forward would you like if Mohamed Salah leaves for Saudi Arabia or PSG?
Ooh, fuck it, that's a good one actually.
Bowen's not for sale.
That's straight away. Yeah, straight away.
I'll take Kudus though.
Joe, what? I think he'd be a good player. I think he'd be a good player for Liverpool. I really do.
He's a cracking player, man. I'll take him.
Yeah.
Abdul's putting some great questions in here. Who do you think will win the Euro 24? Do England have a chance to go all the way and win it with Gareth Southgate? Nope. That's my answer straight off.
I think it's possible.
Nah.
I think France, mate. I think when you look at the French, the one thing with the French side is they just know how to get the job done.
They do that.
Yeah. Right. I think what it is with England have to beat a top side. Yeah, if they beat a top side in this competition and say they get to the semi-finals, they take out a big hitter. Say they play France in the semis and they take them out, then it's on. Yeah, it can happen.
Yeah.
The only problem is with us England fans is we all build ourselves up for failure. It's just, it happens every year, isn't it?
It is true. Well, you know the old saying, always the bridesmaid, never the bride kind of thing, and that's definitely in England's remit in that respect. Yeah. Spurs can't score with a lady of the night. Sorry, Chris. It's true. If we beat Everton tomorrow night, West Ham next Saturday will be tasty. It'll be an interesting one this Stepsy, that's for sure. Well, tonight now, yeah, very true. As we're into the next day now, aren't we? VAR is great for the game if competent people use it. Yeah, I think we've all agreed on that.
And I'll go with that.
I think if you look at it, if we ever did a stream on VAR and that, I think we wouldn't have a week to complete the thing because
it's just a shame, mate, really, because there's going to be decisions this year that's going to affect certain clubs. Now, when you look at the Forest, Luton, Burnley, if they're played to Burnley, they've got back into
it's a bit of fun,
they were out of it and they've managed to claw their way back into it. But I can guarantee there's been a decision down the road there where they've been done or something. Do you know what I'm saying? Especially not the Forest the other week against Everton. There's 3 penalty claims. I think two of them are definitely pens. Yeah. I think the other one's like 50-50. Right. On a different day, different referee, they give it. So, yeah, it's just... I don't know what the solution is, but I look at European refs, and obviously we've been watching Europa League and all that, and obviously seeing different referees managing our games. Some of them have been good as goal, mate. I've been doing the player ratings on E20. I've been giving them high marks and saying, well, he just lets the game flow. He books when he needs to, and that's it. Do you know what I mean? VAR don't get involved quite a lot.
No, that one, but obviously, yeah. I mean, the only thing I can say on that one was the second leg against Leverkusen. That was all about the referee show. That one,
yeah,
he was on a different level. That geezer.
England
need Moyes. Yeah, him and number 2 Sam back in again. No chance England ever winning the Euros, and the fraud gate is not yet. Absolutely.
Broadgate,
Ooh, who you prefer to go down out of the three?
I'd like to see Luton stay up. I really would.
Yeah,
Their manager Rob Edwards. I think he's gone through some shit this year, big time.
Cool,
Obviously, with the geezer obviously dropping down on the floor at Bournemouth away.
Yeah.
And Harry sort of recovered that. I think he's a really good manager. I really do. I think he's at his level. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's any higher than his level. I think he's learning his trade, but I do think he's done a pretty good job.
yeah.
I think
I was having a conversation in the barbers today with about sort of like Rob Edwards and that, and I was saying to them one day, like, you know, because you're saying that, you know, like Luton always throw it away, you know what I mean, and they don't defend and this and that, especially as obviously the game with Bournemouth and with the 4-3 one, do you know what I mean? Yeah, you know, he said they don't defend. I said, look, you know what, Linday, Rob Edwards at he's no mug. And then he's no mug. He's probably training them guys. They're telling them guys at the day, stick to you, man. Don't leave a man free in the back post and all sorts. You know what I mean? All the sort of things at the day that you would like, you know, normalize with sort of like defending. But what's happening at the day is that when they're getting a pitch, they're forgetting everything. They're forgetting to defend. The only good defender out of them lot, yeah, is that guy Mengi. He's a good defender. Rest of them at the day, they don't defend.
It wouldn't surprise me if he's playing this though, like Rob Edwards, as in to say, right, target the last 3 games: Everton, West Ham. I think it's Fulham is their last game at home.
Yeah,
right. So if they're looking at it, they're thinking 7 points. Like that is on the like. If Luton turn up tomorrow night and they make Kenilworth Road a fortress, yeah, Everton now are safe. Yeah, so Everton could be on the beach. There's more to gain from Luton going at them and trying to win the game. I think if Luton win tomorrow, them playing us on the final day, the following week, sorry, for us, we're going to be out of Europe, so we might be on the beach. Do you know what I'm saying? And then if you get to the final game, just for argument's sake, West Ham turn it on and do Luton. Yeah, which I do expect West Ham to beat Luton, even though they are on the fucking beach. The final game, Luton at home, Kenilworth Road against Fulham, who will be on the beach. That is the one, really. Like, I think Forest have got Chelsea. I've got this right. They've got Chelsea coming up. They've got someone else.
They've got Sheffield United this weekend.
Chelsea, and then it's Burnley. And then they've got Burnley, final game of the season at Turf Moor. So, for me, I think Forest are in the shit, mate.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest. Yeah. I think, like, can I see them beating Chelsea? If Chelsea are competing for Europe or trying to get Europe, Chelsea will go there and field a strong side. Yeah. They should beat Sheffield United at the weekend, but, you know, like, who knows?
Stranger things have happened, isn't it? Yeah, it's true, isn't it?
Sheffield United, when you think about it, Sheffield United got fuck all to pay for because they're already gone.
Yeah, but one thing they have got though, man, is pride, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
that's the only thing you'll play for now, isn't it? That's the only thing they can play for.
So, you know.
James, what do you about that one? Would you take Deutsch?
Oh, I had this argument last year, mate.
This argument.
I remember it last year. Like when Moyes played Everton last season, yeah, and it was either win or the sack, basically. And it was mentioned that Dyche could come in for him. I actually think Dyche has done a pretty decent job at Everton to a point for the situation that's going on there. Yeah, I think he's done all right. Evertonians, I'm not big fans of him though, from what I'm hearing.
Yeah, which is strange, isn't it? Because not being funny, I mean, I agree on that first comment you were saying there. Because if I was the manager, for me, my team talks a piss easy. Those fuckers upstairs have fucked us over.
Yeah.
So we're doing it for us, not them, for us.
Yeah.
And you've clearly seen that. And you know, like you said, they're actually safe there. So yeah.
I
I
think
don't think Dice is good. Sorry, Crossy. I don't think Dice is West Ham quality though.
No, he's
Not for
Well,
me.
he's we've done the days of Sam Allardyce. We don't need a kind of a younger version of it, basically. I think.
I think he's a good manager for the standard that he's at. Like, if you was to look at from 20th to 12th in that bracket in the Premier League, that's Sean Dyche.
Yeah,
I don't see him getting any higher than that.
No.
I don't see. He's a good manager. Like, he's good at Burnley. Like when they had him, he was pretty good. But I just don't see it. Like, I think what it is with Everton, he's trying to rebuild Everton up, and then eventually Everton will go after a top end manager.
Yeah, I agree on that. Yeah, Lockyer. It looks like I think he's actually looking to retire now, isn't he?
Yeah,
It's probably a shame, but probably the best thing. Probably the best thing to do. Lawrence has got. I want Forest to go down. I like Luton and Burnley, so it's hard. I think Burnley. I don't think they've had this resurgence, but I don't think it's enough to get them across the line. I think they're going to go.
I don't know though, Tony. Right? I think if they can get to the final day of the season and they're just for argument's sake they're 2 points behind Forest, they will fancy it at Turf Moor all day. Like,
got to agree on that.
One game to stay in the Premier League, that's like a cup final, isn't it? Let's be real. And it's Luton. It's Luton's really, if I'm being honest. If you look at Luton's fixtures, technically, right, they're playing 3 teams who's on the beach.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I mean? So
the question I will put to you, James, because I think Anthony's gone there, but he did say on one of the shows where he was on with me, would you take company?
You know what, mate? That's 50-50 with me. I think he's a good manager. I liked what he done at is it Anderlecht? Is it Anderlecht with Craig Bellamy? Yeah. Now Craig Bellamy's there, and obviously that's his assistant, I think, at Burnley. The only issue with company is where do you want to go with him, or where could West Ham go with him? Yeah, it's like, is he at his level, or does he need to learn more of his game? Now, I look at Company. He's a pretty similar to a lot of managers in the Premier League currently right now. He plays one way, and if that one way don't work, he continues to play that one way. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and there's been games this year with Burnley where they've had to shut up shop and say, right, let's just shut up shop and just see this out. And they're trying to attack. I use our game at Turf Moor.
Yeah.
As a prime example, they kicked our arse at Turf Moor for 87 minutes of that game. Yeah, I'll never forget it. It was the 25th of November because I remember where I was. I went out, I come back, I watched the game. And we was shit. And they was really good. And the last 5 minutes, they fell apart. Is that the sort of manager that West Ham need right now? I think with money, he could bring in talent who could sort of. Yeah. And what it is, you need someone who's going to be a name to a point, someone who's going to attract players to the club. Yeah. That's a good point. So company's a good way, but it's a toss of a coin with me, mate. It really is with that one.
I understand that comment as well, actually. I mean, look at this for you, for the three of us, basically. Would you take Ross Barkley on a free at West Ham or Liverpool?
West Ham should have got him, mate.
Not for me.
West Ham should have got him out of. West Ham needed a sort of a ball carrying midfielder. We've been looking for one for ages.
Yeah, it's true.
And I think what it is, Luton gave him his lifeline, his Premier League lifeline, and he's done really, really well with it. Ross Barkley wasn't a crap player, mate. He went to Nice, he didn't work out, and a bit like a lot of the players, they come back and no one really's prepared to take a punt on them. I do like a few Luton players. I think, is it Doherty?
Doherty, yeah.
Tidy little player. They've got a centre half there. Can't pronounce his name. I'll nose it up. But he's rapid. Like, really, really, really good player. I think they've got some good players there. I actually think if I was to have a punt on it right now, I think if Luton beat Everton tomorrow, Luton will stay up 100%. They have to beat Everton tomorrow.
Yeah,
it's a must.
Well, they've done it already, though. They've done it twice this season.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Away from home.
Just got to make it the third time there. I mean, after year one, if your uncle. Trent is right back or midfielder, box to box or number 8?
Eight. Yeah, midfielder. 8. Yeah.
Did you see the news, James? Apparently Johnson going to Palace.
Been on the cards for ages, mate. So I knew this 2 years ago, right? I don't know a video on E20, and I know someone who knows him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right. Who knows Ben to a point? Yeah, goes out, been out with him and all that, and he thinks he's better than what he actually is. If I'm being real, like I'll be honest, yeah. And I called this. I said he won't sign a new deal. Like he doesn't want to be at West Ham. West Ham had a contract with him where basically West Ham had to force him to stay, which that just tells you all you need to know. In the contract, West Ham sort of had a clause to say that they can extend it for another year, but it was actually another 2 years. Yeah, so his contract ended 2 years ago, and they had clauses to say another year, and obviously this is the final year. If he does go to Palace, good luck to him. I think people do overhype him. I'm not going to lie. I think people look at him. He has one good game. Everyone goes, "Wow, yes, we've got to keep him in the side." But as a collective, this geezer's just not the guy for me.
No, exactly. Yeah, I agree on that. Take care, good people. Thanks for being good sports. You're welcome, Chris, as always. Until next time. See you guys. If you haven't, go and see Meta Football TV. He's just getting back into things. So give him a bit of a love and see what he's all about, basically. Uncle, which LCB sided for the number 6 would you get in the summer?
Oh gosh. Well, the one I wanted, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen because I wanted Nalasha to come in with Amaron. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know now. I mean, there is that guy from Bournemouth on the day that looking good. You know what I mean? Is it Lewis? I can't remember his last name now. But like we was looking at him before, so he can come in 6.
You should have went for Deck.
Yeah. 6. Well, we've got Bicetics in there, but 6, and I think we should still go for. We should still go and try and get Diamante from Sporting Lisbon. Young, fits the criteria of what you or what FSG wants. So why not go and get him? Why not go and get Diamante and get the fella Lewis from Bournemouth?
Yeah.
Why not?
Welcome back in Arsenal, man. Good morning. Last time I was on this stream last Thursday, Chelsea Spurs were playing. How much coffee have you had? I normally tend to have about 8 cups of coffee during the day, and that kind of keeps me going for the rest of it. And that I'll be asleep after this. Don't worry.
Keep everybody going, isn't it?
We're nearly wrapping up anyway. So, Uncle Rodz, which big player will be sold first by Liverpool this summer, and which big name player would you like to sign?
You know what I like to do? I like to take that fucking guy from Chelsea, you know, Caicedo. He's not happy there, mate. I like to go and take him, man. Do you know what I mean? So look, let's offer you a lifeline. As for which big player would be sold, I see Darwin Núñez being sold. I see him being sold.
West Ham bidding coming.
I'll tell you what would be ironic about that. He probably go to West Ham and score 30 goals a season.
Trust me, that's incoming, mate. Trust me, get your money on.
Yeah, because I don't even realise, Uncle Rodz, old Sullivan watches this channel and that he just picks up on that comment you've just said there and that he'd be in like a shot in there, like, you know, yeah, I'll have him.
He's on it. He's on it. That's right, we're on that, mate.
Good night to you, Alson, mate. Nah, you're good, mate. You know that. It's always good. Let's see what else we've got on there. We get Andre and a reduced deal. Liverpool 12th man welcome into the stream onto a reduced deal and get Colwell and a necessity to sell deal. Yeah, probably bad. Steps is out. Núñez out. Watkins in for Liverpool. Ooh.
Oh, I love that. I love that all day long, mate. I love that all day long.
Watkins. I don't think you get Watkins if they get Champions League. They get Champions League. He's got.
He'll stay.
Yeah. I think you got more chance of getting the final centre forward, the Mexican Gimenez, Santiago Gimenez, very good player.
Yeah, good player.
Right, he's a player that It's a player West Ham's been linked with quite a lot.
Yeah.
I think he'd be. Don't be surprised if Slot does go after a couple of these players from Feyenoord. Got some good players over there. Really have.
Listen, I hope he does well. I hope he does well for Liverpool. As I said, what worries me is obviously the massive league. That's what worries me. But I hope he does well, because if he does well, that's the betterment of my team that I love. Do you know what I mean? I'm just slightly worried about the gap. Do you know what I mean? Is that kind of like gap?
Yeah, the levels kind of thing.
Yes.
Thanks, Lawrence. Thanks for the comment. Good channel, mate. Everyone like and subscribe. Thank you. And of course, don't forget E20 and Uncle Rodz as well, please, guys.
Oh, you got a channel, ain't you, 20, ain't you?
Yeah, sadly so, mate. I haven't got social media at the minute, but I'm working on getting that back. Fuck me, I've had so much shit.
I'm gonna when I come up here, mate, I'm gonna subscribe to your channel.
Good stuff.
Thank you very much, mate. I will pay you.
Listen, if you're free on Monday night, me, Tony, and
Fuzzy.
Yeah, we're Fuzzy. We have a rather football talk. You're welcome, mate. You're welcome to come in.
No worries, mate. No worries. I've had people try to shut me Twitter down. Tony, I'm gonna be honest, right? I'll say it to your uncle and all, yeah. Fucking grief I've had over the last 72 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, unbelievable, mate. One thing I will say is anyone who does like fan channels, like football channels, yeah, whoever you support, the club is watching. I'm just gonna say that to you. They are fucking definitely watching, 100%. But I'm being good. I'm being good tonight. I'm being good.
You know what it is though? I realised that in the day, but like, if you're a person in the day that just sticks to your guns and everything like that, right, and you don't switch, you don't switch from the majority, the big majority. You have your own opinions in the day. People respect you more. People respect you more if you got your own opinions in the day and you're strong in your opinions and say, look, listen, this is what I believe in. Yeah. Obviously, you guys can do what you want. I'm not telling you guys what to do, but this is what I believe in. You know what I mean?
You're like that.
People who will adhere to you. You know, because at least they know that you're an honest person. You feel me? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, listen, I understand that 100%, mate. Listen, I started my channel up in 2021, September the 1st. Never forget when I started it. And basically, like, you have to go through some shit. Like, when you're putting yourself in the public domain, like Tony's been on E20. I have anyone on there. Literally anyone. Like, as in West Ham content, I open the platform up and say, right, come on, have your say. And obviously, everyone's doing this game. Like, I mean, you've got the big hitters, and then you've got like the smaller channels, like. And for me, I've always been very staunch on the owner. Like, the owner to me is a major thing with me, because I've got a lot of sort of in-house issues with him with regard to the move and the way he constructed it and everything like that. Now, I could speak about that for hours, but I ain't gonna bore you with that. But what it is that it seems like there is people watching there who, if they don't like what you're saying, they will try and silence you. Like, I'll say this quickly before we wrap up. I've got loads of lads on my channel, all different ages, all different countries, everything. Lucas is American. He come over to England for the last 2 months. He's just gone back to America Saturday. Yeah, he's been over here, up and down the land, following West Ham United. Got another young lad on there, Alfie. Now, all of us lads have all got our opinions, but obviously I'm the face of it, so I'm the one who runs the show. When it comes to issues in regards to stuff, it comes back to me. Yeah, I can deal with that. That's fine. But then a lot of things have happened, mate. Like, first off, it's my Facebook account that went. Alfie built up a 50,000 Instagram account, like followers, like big account, yeah. And his account went, and then my account went 72 hours ago. And it, like, once is like, okay, fair enough. Twice, that's a bit strange. But 3 times now, my accounts are going down. And I'm thinking, what the fuck is going on? You know what I mean? So now I'm just going to censor it and say DS. I'm just going to call him. Fuck it. I'm going to call him DS, mate. I ain't calling him by his full name, mate. You know what I mean? I'm going to call him by his fucking initials. You know what I mean? Fuck him. But no, that's what it is. Straight up. I've just been having all that. But you know what? I always stick to my guns. I'm always true to my word, and I say it with my heart. And you know what I mean? That's what it's all about at the end of the day for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, look, so Watkins apparently signed a new deal with Villa, but yeah, I agree with both of your comments there. You stick to your guns, kind of thing. At the end of the day, we're all entitled to opinions, and yeah, we know obviously how some hierarchy don't like that kind of.
Someone told me, Tone, a long time ago, in regards of like the issues with the board and all that. You never see any banners in the ground in regards to the owner. Never, not once.
No.
Yeah, because they automatically get shut down straight away. Yeah, you never see it on TV. That is why when West Ham fans have the it's always away from home. It's always away from home. It's always at Fulham away or it's at Forest away when all the banners start coming out because they can't get to them there because they're on someone else's ground. Do you know what I mean? They just they can't do it at the NS because they know they get it taken off and thrown out. So
yeah, it's true.
It's mad. It is mad. But the day Sullivan does go and leaves West Ham will be a great day for everyone.
No, of course.
Honestly.
James is a great channel. If Uncle changes that hat, I'll give him endorsement. There you go, Uncle. And it's on I Hato Wafer from the Dutch League. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I'd like to do something, Tony. Yeah, Steps, we've got the old Luton game coming up. We can look at doing something there. The smaller pod fan channels are the best. You lot keep it real from day one. Always keep to your principles, morals, never change. Fuck the big channels, followed by cheap fans. And this is the thing. I mean, obviously, I've only been doing this since, was it May, July? Took a 3-month break from October till December. Got back into it and I'm enjoying it and having great people like you on board.
Do you really like? Because for me, Tone, I'm going to be honest. I've done it since 2021. This season's been the first season where I felt drained out. Like my body feels just drained.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? I think maybe it's because I do interact quite a lot, social media, YouTube, and everything. But this season has been fucking hard. Like really hard work. Like when you're doing a game after game, you know what I do, Tom. So
yeah, of course, mate. Yeah, I mean, if you look at that's the difference, I suppose, with me at the because I've got the Wednesday show I do on a regular basis. I do the Sunday show I do on a regular basis. I'll do the odd watch along, and then obviously like this one, Spotlight is where basically I will invite you onto this as well, James. Is where I ask you a series of questions, know about you and stuff like that kind of thing. So this is Spotlight's every now and then. But the main two obviously is the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the Sunday night takeaway show, and then I will do the other bits and pieces. Could I do the other bits like you do as well? I'd love, don't get me wrong, I could do that.
Yeah.
But obviously with my job at the moment, there's a lot of kind of pressure because this time of the year we're building up, getting all the agency in and all that kind of stuff. So it does kind of restrict me, but there's also the pressure indoors,
Yeah.
Oh, you're doing too much and all this kind of stuff.
Oh, I have all that done. That. We've all got a missus who fucking loves the mow, trust me.
Yeah, that's without even doing a channel. But
the old ball and chain.
But at the same point, I mean, I enjoyed doing this so far, and I suppose where I've had that 3-month break in between, maybe that's kind of where I've still got the energy kind of thing. But I've watched your show many a times, and I can see, where it affects you in certain parts because obviously, like everything else, we just want the best for our club.
Yeah,
it's just
like Uncle does, and just others do.
It's just. I mean? I'll be honest with you. Like, I'll cover every game. Like Tony knows what I do. Like every game at West Ham, straight after, bang, get people on, have their say. And then what it is, for me, it's the first season where I'll be glad when the season's done. Come May 19th, Man City away, do my final afterthought, final player ratings, wrap up everything with the end of season player ratings, end of the season review, and I can sail off into the summer and enjoy some sunshine. Yeah, I just think what it is when clubs are in-house fighting, it's just a nightmare, mate.
No, exactly.
It just is. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, fun enough, James. Just to flip it on the other side of it, and that Uncle here. Basically, we did a match preview being him, and he's a great guy, and he's considering closing down Anfield Uncle Rodz, and obviously going to be changing some other concept. And it'd be a shame because at the end of the day, in there he does some good stuff. But I understand and I respect or the reason why he wants to do that, and you can understand it because, like yourself, there's a lot of time and effort goes into doing these things.
Or
And,
not,
you know, and I think some people don't realise that. It's just a case of, oh, you know,
it's definitely not just whack open a camera and have a chat. Trust me.
This is the thing. I mean, like, you know, you get someone saying like, you know, but all you do is talk bullshit. Yeah, but it's interesting bullshit in certain respects because there's a lot of relevance behind it as well.
Listen, bullshit baffles the brains, man. So next time they say that, say this will baffle your fucking brain. 100%. Do you know what I'm saying?
You know what it is? Do you know what it is? I think in respects to me and I think that I think when, as with you as well, as you know, when you've been supporting a club for a certain amount of time, like for years, and you see them making the same mistake again and again and again. No matter if this sort of like if the regime at the top changes, you find out the same mistakes are making again, and it comes to a situation and that you think to yourself, well, what am I doing here? Do you know what I mean?
Don't give up. Don't give up, though, man.
No. What I'm gonna do? What I'm gonna do? I mean, you know, listen. At the day, I'll tell you what. At the day, I'll be honest with you. Do you know what I mean? It's people like Tony, people like Fuzzy, my friend Fuzzy, and that's taught me back into it. And what I'm actually gonna do, I'm gonna take like a 4-month sabbatical. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna come back. Do you know what I mean? Because you
know, Philip, by the way,
with coming on shows like this, right? With Tony, do my own shows, having people on that I like, I can have a laugh from that. This is what it's all about. This is what it's all about at the end of the day. Like us three of us and they having intelligent conversations about football. It don't matter at the day that like I support Liverpool and you guys support West Ham. It don't matter. Because when you think about it, it's all the same thing at the end of the day. It's a football club.
One thing I'm going to say to you, Uncle, as a bit of advice for you, is have a structure. My structure's in place now. My structure's all over the place before, I was trying to do too much. And I understand what Tony's saying. When you've got a missus, you've got a life and everything, it just seems to go up in the air. Do you know what I'm saying? Now, for me, it's not about the how much you put out, it's the quality of it. Because people will always come back. And with me, I've always stood by my guns ever since. Like Lawrence has known me for years, on different platforms. I've always been the same geezer. I'm not like painting a charade. I am who I am, and that's it. And all I would say is have a structure. You have a structure, right? And you set like a little timetable and say, right, I'll do a video for 10 minutes, talk about issues at Liverpool or whatever. Bang, get that out there, done. Trust me, it ain't about how long it is. Obviously, I do a long one. I've done long ones before. Don't want to stay on me fucking jackets. Talking to them, do you know what I mean? So I've done. All right, you do it, but like if you've got something to say, you can knock something out in 12 minutes and go. There you go, done.
I mean, I just want to say, just saying goodbye to Stepsy and that. You know, thanks for coming in, mate. In that, I mean, funny if you say that, James. I mean, I just did a little comment about when we played Leverkusen, and it was only 2 minutes 51, and just looked at now, and that's got 250 views. And that's 2.5 minutes.
Yeah,
I did one yesterday, with talking about sort of like obviously when I said a guy that was talking about Liverpool and how Edge was coming and all that, come back and Klopp and all that, and then what I did, I put the link down below so they can watch the full video. Do you know what I mean? And that was 35 minutes. So yeah, I understand we man, and you know what it is in the day. So like I'm always here to take advice. You know what I mean?
Honestly, mate, listen.
I don't feel too big for anybody to take advice from. You know what I mean?
Listen, right. At the end of the day, everyone. I'm a sort of person. I help anyone. I help any man. Yeah, that's how I am. Like I've had people on my channel. I've had Tony on my channel. I've had Jeff from the Bowling Lounge. I try and promote their channels. I'll do a lot of opposition previews on my channel, like where I have like Liverpool fans on, all that, like promote them. Yeah, because we're all in the same game. We're all in the same. We're all in the same boat. So it is what it is. Like, and I'm not like, I don't think I'm bigger than anyone else, but I'm just myself. But when there's two things that you got to do. You got to have a structure. Yeah, that's the first thing. And the main thing of all, and this is the main thing, is you've got to be thick-skinned. in certain moments, like with comments and things like that. I had a comment today, funny enough, from my video I done last night about my media shutdown. Someone going saying, "Oh, I'm so happy that they shut you down. All you do is talk to young fans. You don't talk to the older fans and all that." I was like, "Block." can't be doing with you tonight. You know what I mean? But you are a subscriber, so that's all right.
That's the fear. It's one of those, isn't it? Here's one for you, James. Lawrence is asking, do you think the fan division between Moyes has created over that stress and anger in the shows and social media?
Yeah.
Quite possibly, yeah.
100%, mate. 100%. This has been building up for 9 months. Yeah. To make it short and sweet, a decision should have been made after Prague. Yeah, but our owner's too busy on TalkSport trying to sell Declan Rice, which was quite embarrassing.
Yeah.
And you know what? That to me, the Declan Rice thing, like Sullivan coming out and trying to sell him day after Prague, just tells you all you need to know about the owner. If I'm being honest. So, yeah, I do think social media comes into it. I think fan channels do come into it. Big fan channels have had their sort of gripes with Moyes, and I think in the end, I'll be glad when it's over. I really will, because it's just a fresh start for everyone. Yeah.
I think it's just the transparency for us. I mean, like, Liverpool's got they know where their man's coming in now.
Yeah.
Whereas for us, it's just it's lack of transparency. Steve's saying here, if you have structure, organisation in your life, everything is sweet, no chaos. It's very true.
Yeah.
And of course, no stress. Yeah, definitely. Marianne saying Liverpool 12 man, big up. Just saying hello to the channel. They're all saying each other's. So as we're 3 hours and 50 minutes into this now, it's been a good chat. I mean, and James, thanks for coming on as well. Kind of thing. It's been quite insightful.
I had to let me Sullivan rant out.
Indirectly.
I was like flicking through YouTube. I thought, right, let's have a look and see what's happening. Right, and I see you on. I thought, nice one, Tone. Give me that fucking link.
So, guys, it's nice been doing the channel, and it's probably the last one there because James is on here. But thanks anyway for coming on. No, I'm joking.
I apologise in advance.
I mean, Liverpool's 12th man saying here, everyone brings up Watkins and Solanke or a bag of goals, but those players have been given longer to develop. Also, Darwin is on 31 gear. There's nothing to sleep on. Yeah, it's very true.
Yeah, but he's still not the killer. He's still not the killer. I mean, I respect, but obviously, Liverpool's 12th man opinion on Darwin and Day, but for me, he's still not a killer for me. We need a guy at the day that's not going to miss open goals. Do you know what I mean? Because he's still literally missing chances now. He's got the worst records for misses in Europe, Do you know what I mean? So, like, don't get me wrong in that, right? I like Darwin, but to be honest today, because I was one of Darwin's biggest supporters. Don't get me wrong, his biggest supporter. I said, give him a chance, give him another season. If he doesn't do it, then say something, say what you need to say. And unfortunately, this season he hasn't delivered. So, we need killers up front, man. We need killers.
Cheers, Steve.
Yeah.
And I just want to say also to Marianne for staying with us. Yeah, just listening to the chat. Everyone has gone to bed except me. Thanks for staying with us anyway, basically. So, James, if you'd like to shout your channel out, please, sir.
Yeah, come over, subscribe to E20 Zone TV, which is there. West Ham channel. But you know what? I do a lot of after hours stuff late in the evening, a bit like what Tony's doing tonight, funny enough. So I have different people on, different conversations. Yeah, go over and check us out. Me and the boys.
Great stuff. Uncle, you're good self. Man. Thanks for being on Spotlight, first of all. I mean, we've learned a bit more about yourself, which is great, and you see, the people in the chat, they love you. Yeah, so enjoy that break. That's the key thing for me. Yeah, and you're going to come back bigger and stronger as always.
Yeah, and when I come back, the first stop is your channel. Trust me, first stop is your channel. Thank you again for inviting me on this show and having me as a guest on Spotlight. Listen, this is a great channel. It's a really, really great channel. Love it to bits. You know what I mean? I always take time and watch it when I'm not doing stuff. Great channel. And big up James as well. Nice to meet you for the first time, bro.
No worries, brother.
I'm going to subscribe to your channel and everything that, and hopefully I can get you on my channel. We all have a chat again on Monday and that. Do you know what I mean?
Uncle, I'll say this. Anytime, give me a shout. I won't let you down.
No worries, mate. No worries, mate. Listen, it's been an amazing show. It's been an amazing show. Do you know what I mean? And these are the shows I like. We can actually just adults talking about football, talking about the game we love. Do you know what I mean? Guys, you can find me on Anfield, Uncle Rodz. As I said, you know what I mean? Obviously, at the end of the season, I'll be gone for a bit, but I won't be gone for long. 4 months, have a little sabbatical and that. Gonna be back. I'm gonna try and set up my other channel as well, Uncle Rodz TV. I'm gonna try and set that up, which is maybe more podcast based. I'll try and get that sorted out. But I will be back. I will be back. What have we got coming up? Player ratings and match reaction. That's what I've got coming up so far. I think I'm on Fuzzy's channel, LRFC Forever. I think I'm on there. I think he's doing a show soon, probably tomorrow or something like that. No, actually, I'm doing a show tomorrow as well. Panel debate show tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Yes, tomorrow.
Brilliant.
And yeah, so you can find me on Anfield Uncle Rodz on the YouTube. Yeah, fastly growing. Also, I'm on Instagram as well. Anfield Uncle on Instagram. And also, I am on Twitter as well. Twitter X, whatever you want to call it. I'm on there as well. So, yeah, so come in and say hello. Come and like and subscribe. But most of all, before you like and subscribe to me, I want you to like and subscribe to Early Doors Football TV. Give him all the support that he deserves. He's a great, great guy. He's a great guy.
Thank you very much, Uncle, on that. And we just played the outro on that. And other than that, good morning rather than good night for a change. Take it easy, all.
Take it, man.